The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussions.
I'm drinking in honor of Kev. I have to tell you, Steve.
You've joined the Colostrum train?
You may appear.
Why, thank you.
I am. Yes, I am. And for how many times did I tease Kev and be I might have said something like, "Go ahead, go suck on the plastic tit." While you're on the air. But here I am drinking the Colostrum. This is, by the way, the orange.
Okay.
That I have right here. No brand names until they become an advertiser.
Of course. Poland Spring, obviously, big advertiser for us.
Right, yeah, well, you should have covered the fucking water label.
So what got you on the Colostrum train?
Me, people I work with. I'm just putting everyone on the Colostrum. Everyone should have a tit in their mouth, I decided. So I'm just shoving it in people's mouths, whether they want it or not. Kind of happened to me with Kev talking about the benefits of it. But, I think there's some science behind this, though.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. So, salud, everyone. Pull your bottle out. We'll all suck together. Hopefully we don't suck this week, because we're without our spiritual leader, the great Kevin Nash. Sexy.
He's quite a bit missed. As it's What time is it for you? 12:30 there? 11:30 there?
11:30. Practically 12:30, but 11:30. Yeah, I mean everyone's listening at 6 a.m. on Monday. We're recording this very late at night. Kev did his surgery. It was successful, and there was some more damage in there than they thought, so they had to do some cleaning up to it. And he's recovering. I didn't want to have to get in a car and get down here and without being able to use one of your wings. It's not easy. So we're doing something fun. I guess it's called a SAGA show, Steve. This is something everyone knows. The term SAGA, or this is your term.
This is my term because
like MAGA, like you just make that up when you run
MAGA,
for office.
SAGA, real easy, real phonetic. It's very, very good. No, we had a lot of success last December putting together a compilation of our clips from various topics, because I think a lot of people can tell a story about how something happened within a year, but it's one thing to do that, and it's another thing to tell that story through what people were saying at the time it happened, and then play a clip a week or two later when it changed, then a week or two later when it changed. So I had a lot of those clips ready to go, and you're going to see a lot of those in December. And the one Sean and I landed on is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's 2024. Because boy, howdy, is that a bit of a 2024.
Yeah. And a lot of times when we're talking about the product, it's easy to shit on the things you don't like, but you got to call out. You got to put some equal time in calling out the things that are done right. And I thought the handling of The Rock this year, if you told me it was going to happen, I probably went, dragging him out. This is a little played out. They'll get a pop the first and second week because all the little kids just saw him in a Santa Claus movie. But no, I gotta say the way they did it was perfect.
And part of it was in relationship to the audience, as we're gonna see. It didn't start out super clean,
right?
Because obviously he came out the first Raw of 2024 in San Diego. Ivan Garcia, who's with us, he was there, and huge surprise, huge pop. Oh my God, The Rock's here.
Yeah. And
he alludes to the fact that he might be sitting at the table, and he may be sitting at the head of the table. So he's alluding to the fact that it's going to be him and Roman Reigns. And then we don't hear anything except rumblings that he might come back. He wants to have a match with Roman Reigns, but we're not sure. And then kind of sort of out of nowhere, he muscles his way into the board of TKO.
Right.
Pretty much right around the time Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble for the second time, and it's announced that he's going to face Roman Reigns for the world title. But then he doesn't. But then The Rock just kind of steps in, and the audience soundly rejected the idea. And then what we wound up with this WrestleMania was them pivoting around what the audience soundly rejected.
So let's start there, Steve. Let's start with the with his appearance on Raw and the return to WWE TV as he goes from Hollywood to the Boardroom in the months of January through March of this year. Did you pop when The Rock came out at Raw Monday night? I know the audience in San Diego did.
Well, see, I didn't watch it till like a couple days later, so I knew it was coming.
Right.
So,
anyone, if you're living under a rock and listening to this, not The Rock, but A Rock, you already know that The Rock came out after they teased a returning champion, and the audience was treated to Jinder Mahal for what had to be 15 minutes solo on the mic. Before
it wasn't that long. I think that his pacing maybe made it seem
pacing made it feel about 15 minutes, right?
But he did. I will say this: it was a very well tailored suit.
You know what? It was well done to his fit. Clearly, he's going to a made to measure. So we've got to talk about this because, as with anything, I have questions. First of all, people kind of knew in advance The Rock might be there, right? Those were the rumblings. He was in town, so I'd heard a couple of weeks ago about
it was San Diego, right?
Talk about this, yeah.
And I know. I mean, Dwayne's got a crib out in L.A. still.
Yeah, but he was there for some for an event, a college football thing. Something was going on. Anyway,
he did. Didn't he do with the NFL? Didn't he come out and give Johnson a hug because he was going into the ring of?
Came out, gave a Johnson a hug. I mean, come on.
Yeah, because Jimmy was going in the.
It was
Cowboy,
the ring. The Ring of Honor.
He was like the 19th. I didn't realize it was that few.
No, well, and they held out a long time, and Jimmy, I've watched interviews with him who said that
Dwayne had played for Jimmy in college, so Dwayne wanted to come out and say hey. And
he was a Hurricane. That's right. Okay.
Yeah,
right,
so that's why that was a correlation.
So, all right. So the audience kind of knows he's coming. Still, huge pop. You got to expect that. You know what I noticed? It's funny when Jinder was they were in a close up in his promo, and you could see the people behind him. At one point, they all begin to turn towards the ramp and take their cameras out. Now, the music hadn't hit. He obviously wasn't out yet. But something triggered their attention. And it was only...
I think we were talking about it. It just two handheld guys moving from...
running up the ramp, right? Yeah.
They're not even running, just the fact... Because, if anybody that's seen those guys with the handheld, where they go, the handheld goes in front of them. So they could walk up. But the fact that they're, it's like Gears of War. They got that big fucking camera in front of them.
Right.
So
I got real Attitude Era vibes watching that.
I got a... kind of it almost felt like it was photoshopped. Like I got a weird vibe from that whole segment until Dwayne got out there and just cut the, sometimes I eat at the bar. Everybody likes to eat at the bar. I'd much rather eat at the table, maybe the head of the table.
Right. But so you're saying before that you felt that it didn't fit?
I don't...
The current product?
No, I don't know. It just felt like fucking Jinder was fodder. wasn't like
He was right.
you know. I mean, it was just. I mean, it was because there's like there was a shot that when they said, you know, ex-champion, and everybody popped, they stood up, and then the truck took a shot of this really, really tall black dude standing next to this white dude. And they said who it was, the black dude, because he was so much taller than the rest of the crowd, you know. He's like here, and you can just see him go like, I think he was actually fucking SMH.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He texted that to his friends the minute it happened. But that was the ideal thing. It was a tease and then the forced disappointment. But what I mean is, so asshole, douchebag, which is now a chant, which will follow him, the day one douchebag, right? This was, had we had any segment in the last few years with that much glorious profanity? From The Rock, no less. How's he going to run for office now?
I mean, I think at the same time, though, that you have in today's society, you get anybody that comes out there that's not white Anglo-Saxon American that speaks anything but the Queen's English. You know, unless you know they would have if Rock would have came out and said, you know, I'm actually a Republican and I was going to fucking drop the smackdown on you, but I got a little something for you, and he would have sat back in the corner and there would have been a fucking drone strike right there on Jinder. Then we would see he's looking.
He's shaking his head right there. He's in the middle
drone strike. He is shaking his head.
Seeing The Rock on the mic, listening to The Rock on the mic, the ease and comfort with which he cut that promo, totally natural. Of course, a product of his day when things weren't scripted, and you know. Do you think they would give The Rock a script to stick to? Of course, he had to hit those lines, right? He had to hit that thing at the end. Go to the bar, eat at the head of the table.
But that was agreed upon. I thought Jinder did a good job. Jinder didn't balk. You know, Jinder has been in that position, and Jinder hasn't been on TV in how many years?
Yeah, I was impressed with. Just he took his time, he's comfortable on the mic. Now, of course, he had the one in his pocket, so I guess you can do that, Rush. But yeah, it was a pleasure to watch. I thought it was a good segment for him.
For Dwayne.
For Dwayne, yeah.
I thought it was a good segment for the show.
Yeah, tough to follow them, man. When you open that hot, you know, and there wasn't going to be any Punk, and tough to build a show after that.
I've noticed a lot now that Cody's not coming out in the whole outfit anymore. He comes out kind of in I guess he wasn't selling any T-shirts. He said, fuck, I better wear a T-shirt out to the ring every once in a while so they fucking, you know.
Keep the merch train rolling.
Fuck yeah. That's a smart boy. That's like, what's my shirt sells?
I want to...
shaking my head.
SMH. So now they have to do Roman and Rock, right? At WrestleMania. You can't tease that and then not have it, right?
Unless Roman fucking does the complete heel thing and tells him, you get in line.
Yeah, but they can't do that to the audience, can they? After putting it out there like that?
He said maybe I'll sit at the end of the table.
The head of the table.
Head of the table. Didn't say that fucking Roman was going to fucking get up and play musical chairs and fucking let him sit down.
Everyone knew what it meant.
What if he cut a part-time? Like, fuck you, you part-time motherfucker. I don't give a fuck if we're related, not related. And then fucking Rock came back and say, shit, I only worked 3 less matches than you last year.
No, Cody had the record, didn't he?
Cody, Iron Man, 111 matches.
That was April for you. That was January,
Jesus.
February,
So I'm
March, and
thinking,
April.
man, what the fuck were we? We were, you know what we were? We were motherfucking 40 acres and a mule. That's what we were.
You know, they were supposed to meet at 39, right? That was the plan. And there were apparently, what I read, no plans for this WrestleMania to have that. But even if this was a last minute thing to get Rock out there, they can switch it up. What am I looking at here? I'm looking at
We got Rumble.
yeah,
So
Rumble
Rumble
Elimination
always
Chamber. Oh, so you think they'll? I don't think they'll meet before WrestleMania.
No, I'm just saying the Rumble winner goes to WrestleMania in the main event. So
yeah,
whoever,
but, right. But I mean, but they would
So-
meet for the first time at WrestleMania.
yeah, so I'm saying that if I had to bet, I'd say Randy Orton wins the Rumble.
Okay.
That would be my bet. Elimination Chamber. I mean, it being in Perth, I mean, I'm sure that they'll have some local Australian guy go over. I don't know. So it doesn't look like McIntyre is going to be in the mix.
No, that ended Monday night.
Yeah,
I think.
that pretty much took him out of that. But unless fucking now unless he goes over in the Rumble.
Yeah, but anticlimactic after a televised loss on Raw, clean.
Yeah, but I mean, if that was the case, then Cody would be dead.
Well, where does this put Punk now? Because if Punk's in it, so he'll be in the Rumble and eliminated, or part of some kind of.
Maybe he goes over and the Elimination Chamber. That doesn't qualify you for anything, does it? That's just whoever wins the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, but
I mean that's not a fucking get out of jail free card, is it? Dom,
unless they change it.
They can make it. They can make it. Yeah. So that'd be the perfect time to cash in Money in the Bank. Would be after a grueling bloodbath Elimination Chamber.
You know what I think was great? I think in WWE Creative, they've been listening to the show and our dialogue about Punk's happy to be home and gland handing, and then they sent out a profanity laden Rock promo this week to balance the show. I think it was an answer to our commentary on Punk's. So I think we had the Drew question answered. We brought that up a few weeks ago. You know, too many top guys, and I mean, Cody. Is he staying with? Is there going to be more green mist? Perhaps is he staying with him? Or
I don't think so. I think that's his, conduit until he gets closer to a shot at Mania.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know.
Bottom line is, there's 4 spots. I don't see them. I don't see them taking the belt off of Seth, and I don't see them taking the belt off of Roman. And I really don't. You think that they want Roman to pass the Hogan streak?
Yeah, it's getting close. So,
I mean, there's no upside in having Dwayne go over.
No, you can't. Yeah, not for the belt, but to sell the WrestleMania.
I mean, but I think Dwayne would do the job.
Yeah, of course. Be great
much like Hogan,
one day shy.
much like Hogan did for Dwayne in Toronto.
Right, 17. Right.
Yeah, give him that monster fucking rub.
Or 18.
Did you see that? I saw a thought. I think it might have been on Instagram. It had like all the milestones of like that WWE had last year in 23. Like the most revenue, the most this. It was like fucking 6 different things that they had, crushed numbers.
I didn't see it, but
Yeah.
I do know we keep hearing the revenue with the Garden. We were talking about the MSG number, and so WrestleMania is currently, I'm getting in my reports, practically sold out. Yeah. Okay. So
what my question is,
do you waste that match on an event that's sold out already?
Well, at the same time though, what do they do now as far as, because I'm not privy because I don't buy pay-per-views, but are they back to doing pay-per-view numbers?
No, they're on. It's on Peacock, so it's part of your subscription. So you get them on Peacock. So
but there's I have Peacock. I'm just saying there's no way, if I didn't have Peacock, there's no way that I could buy WrestleMania. There's not.
No, not through legal means.
It would just I'd pay for the Peacock subscription and get Mania for free.
Yes.
See, I've always thought that was so stupid.
Oh wait, I'm seeing DirecTV. You can pay a separate charge at DirecTV if you have satellite for $75, which is pretty.
All right, so I don't know how many what the direct world is, but if you don't have Peacock, and I mean, if you do 2 million fucking buys, it's $75. I would definitely would push having that match.
Yeah. Okay. So we shall see. We touched.
Oh, it's a money thing.
It's a profit thing. Someone's
Bashid Berlin. That's Gunther's hometown, isn't it? Isn't he? Is he labeled from there? Is he actually
what month is that? That's going to be June in Germany. Yeah, June. No, August. Totally wrong. Knew it was summer. We had on a very different topic. You might want to mention that The Rock was on SmackDown. Did big numbers. The actual Rock. Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know you were confused. You were like, well, The Rock's been on SmackDown for a year. Yeah, no. We're talking about Dwayne.
Yeah. He looked great.
Yeah, he really did. And we were talking about...
He looked like he put on like 15 pounds from the fucking Colorado game. No,
he did the in-ring thing with Austin Theory, and they're teasing a match.
They went through. They went through. I don't know what it was on, but they went through the list of. And Theory's young, right? Like 26, something like that.
Is he? Okay.
But I mean,
I'll buy that.
Yeah, Dom said, yeah. But the list of guys he's worked with already. Woo.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought that. Well, he held his own in there.
Well, the increase was like 24% or something like that.
I saw numbers that were anywhere between 32 and 24%.
Yeah.
Like
so
2.5, 2.6 million.
So I understand why WWE wants to do this. Why would The Rock, with a career in Hollywood, still an action star, why would he get in the ring when so much can go wrong?
Well, number one,
to wrestle, I mean, not get in the ring for the promo. Get in the ring with Roman Reigns if this happens.
But to still to keep his brand strong, who knows how long this
The SAG strike, if anyone's listening.
how long? Yeah, I just had.
He's wearing a T-shirt. He's wearing his SAG Strong
a
T-shirt.
SAG Strong T-shirt. You know, and Dwayne is double pinched in this, because not only is Dwayne a member of the Screen Actors Guild as an actor, but he's also a member of the he's a producer.
He's a producer, so he's on both sides.
He's a pension, he's a pension health plan, producer's pension and health plan. So, I mean, I don't think he's doing it, for the payday, but he's definitely doing it from a PR standpoint. I don't think it's ever a bad thing to come back to where you started and show the world that you're still the biggest star in that, To me, it's like watching Tony Bennett with Lady Gaga. And he's 90, whatever he was, and he's leaving his heart in San Francisco. It's just something special about being able to do it. And Rock's 50, I know how I felt when I was 50. So
is that logic that if there were no strike, maybe we wouldn't see him in the ring?
I don't know. I think that I think you got a lot of intangibles. I mean, you've got who's going to wrestle Roman at Mania. They're pushing John back in.
What do you say to anyone who says, see the goddamn roster, you have to bring The Rock back? The roster's not impressive enough. There's nowhere for Roman to go now. The Usos aren't going to...
Roman's taken has taken a little time off. So, and then you got, Brock is, Brock's a part-timer now. So it's a brutal, it's a brutal life, man. And my whole thing is, one of the things that came out through this is, Nash is going to, go in the Rumble and, because I hold people back, I'm going to go in the Rumble and, eliminate LA Knight. Like that's I'm working, my back way ends to screw this guy's.
You want to get booked?
Yeah. It's 64 years old. When Hunter came back at 45 years old and tore his pec off the bone.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, I just did 275 for 8 reps on incline the other day. Machine, not fucking free weights. No grind, no pain. Woke up the next day, minimal soreness. I'm putting some size back on. It's just like, I promise you, man, all I want to do is go to the gym, and I'm not looking to. I'm just not. I mean, I'm not looking to get in the ring. I don't think anyone. I mean, I saw some stupid posts. I saw stupid posts. I think, yeah, it's just like people have no idea, man.
Half these people probably fuck their pets. We just see everything now because everyone's got a computer.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool that Rocky comes back. I think it's cool that he's never tried to hide. He's never tried to shy away from his time in wrestling. I guess it's more legitimized now than it was.
I think he did it though.
You think?
I think Dwayne legitimized being a professional wrestler
because of his crossover.
He became the top box office star.
Okay.
So he it's like anything else.
I don't know. I wouldn't take the chance. If I was Rock, I wouldn't take the chance. Maybe he misses the ring. I don't know. I've never been in one. But,
you know what though? It's The one thing I will say, and I mean, the last time I was out there, and it was just for that rundown at the 49ers Stadium when Sting and Triple H had their match,
Mm-hmm.
and we came down, and it was just like, you stand on the top of that stage and look down that ramp, and there's 85,000 people. Like, the only unless Cecil B. DeMille is going to put together the remake of the Ten Commandments, you're not going to see anything. Anything. It's just such a unbelievable, that energy and that. It's just there's just nothing like that.
I believe it. Britt, hey Uncle Kev, did you hear The Rock's interview on Pat McAfee's show? If so, do you feel like it overshadows Cody? Is Cody fucked?
I didn't hear it.
No, Phil, you got to fill us in. I don't know what Rock said on. Just let us know, and we'll. Kev.
McAfee's everywhere.
What else we got? By the way, the Rock comment on Zabisco booked that event. By the way, that just came up from Too Hard and Fierce.
Nice.
The Pat McAfee appearance. Rock said regarding facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40, he could take Cody's spot. So,
which I mean. I saw somebody say that, how do they put it, that it would be like a 2-night event, like Rock would wrestle Roman, like night one, Roman would go over, and then Cody would wrestle whoever it was for the first night, and then the second night, the ultra main event would be Cody versus Roman,
with Lars in the corner.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, it was just it was some just a fan. That was their idea, and I thought,
oh,
you want them to fucking push the bus on top of that? Like, Jesus, dude, like, let me put. I saw on Instagram. I was looking through it, and I caught one of Ric Flair's, and it was the craziest thing. If anybody gets it follows Rick, go to his Instagram page, and he has a. This is when he was the champion, like the NWA champion. It's the craziest fucking schedule you'll ever see, because it was like, and he puts on underneath it. He says, "Yeah, this is it. There it is, right there." Now the other side. Other side.
Well, he wants you to read the comment, I think,
I don't want
of what he said.
But,
Okay,
like,
so
can you pull it up so we can? No.
the comment was, here's one of my old schedules when I was champ. And to clarify, it was twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday. Total of 170 days in less than 6 months. When you're the NWA champion, you were always on the road. Woo! So let's see the schedule.
Yeah,
I love shit like this.
Because the beauty of this is, okay, Kansas City, Atlanta, Texas, Charlotte, St. Louis, Charlotte again, Florida, Toronto, New Zealand, Singapore. I mean, just back to Charlotte, Mobile, Toronto.
Kuala Lumpur is in there, by the way.
Back to Kansas City, St. Louis, Kansas City, Texas. It's just like, what, did they not fucking, like, is it like Coors back in the day when you couldn't go on the fucking west of the Mississippi? Or
and each city he's mentioning, these are weeks in that city. So, yeah.
So he's doing all spot shows around there. And see, that's what people always say. Like, Hulk will say that. Like, Rick was the greatest, wrestler. Like, nobody put in fucking our throughs
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday. Then so.
Good stuff.
Sometimes I look at a schedule like that and I think about the double shots and the hour matches. And I'm like, I'm sure that Rick must think about me and sing Cats in the Cradle. Big man grew up just like me. Yeah.
Rick
Putting
had
that
nice things to
time
say
in.
about our show to you off air, which was very nice to hear.
Yeah, he's always. I love there's a thing where he bashes me and bashes Scott, and they it made the rounds again. People are like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I'm like, well, I was there when they were burying him in WCW, and they were paying us, and he found out how much we got, and he found out how much he was getting, and he was Ric Flair. And the last time we were in the same territory, I was Oz, and I, he pretty much had every right to
Made
to
sense.
be very, very, very pissed. So you just can't. And you know what? And I know Sean Ricker. I know that he absolutely knows. Like if we ever see each other, we will fucking laugh and fucking give each other a hug, because it's just like that's the boys. Like, that's just the boys. So,
But until then, keep these views coming.
yeah, because fucking, you know what? I might have a fucking run-in left in me.
All right, Steve, isolate this part and just clip that and get that out there tomorrow. All right, I just want to take a little break here from our rock discussion to remind everyone that the reason that I'm still smiling at 11:32 at night is VIIA, Steve. VIIA. And it is the hemp company that everyone is talking about. And Kev, listen, they send us some stuff to try. Kev tried it and dropped the credit card immediately to get the full supply for when this ran out. And
that's saying something for Kev. Like, how often have you seen Kev drop the credit card for a product?
Nothing. I mean, that's why he's sitting on $1 trillion. It doesn't matter that they all made all the money that they did. He's so good with money and tighter than a crab's ass, I might say. VIIA is one of our loves, and it is available for you too. I love the fact that each bottle that I've ordered, and if you go on their website, you're going to see this, is cultivated by the ingredient mix between the THC and the CBD and the CBG and all the other elements that they put in. Give you a different result. Okay. The holiday season is here. So if you want to break from the crowded stores and the same old gift lists, restore your zen and restore the zen of someone in your life, for God's sakes, and embrace the natural power of hemp this holiday season with VIIA. Unwind, recharge. You want to enjoy a quiet evening at home and embrace the festive cheer? VIIA's premium THC and THC-free gummies, by the way, will help you find your perfect holiday balance. They're well-renowned for their award-winning THC and THC-free gummies and vapes, THCA flower, soothing tropicals, calming drops, all crafted with the highest quality hemp, sourced from trusted, independently owned American farms. Guys, let's do this together. Let us help you start your journey with VIIA. I promise you, you're never going to go back. For this link, if you're over 21, that is, go to the website, VIIA's website. The link is in our description, right below, or right there. If you're doing the audio, it's right on your podcast description. And if you're watching us on video, it's right in the YouTube text. No medical card required. They ship legally to nearly all the states in this country in discreet packaging. So please, guys, go check them out. Grab it this holiday season. Give yourself some peace of mind. If you're 21 plus, check out the link to VIIA in our description. Use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q. You're going to get 15% off. Very important. Get your 15% off. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. So please tell them our show. It matters. These highfalutin executives and CEOs of this company, they don't know the power of Kliq This necessarily. So we got to let them know that we sent you. This holiday season, enhance your everyday with VIIA. Thank you, VIIA, for all you do to make my days. Popped a little vibe before I went on the air today, Steve.
I would hope so.
I'm telling you. Because sleep is happening the moment this is over. It may be done. On the console right here is where it might happen. So I think we had the Drew question answered. We brought that up a few weeks ago, too many top guys. And, Cody, is he staying with, is there going to be more green mist, perhaps? Is he staying with him? I
don't think so. I think that's his, conduit until he gets closer to a shot at Mania.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bottom line is, there's 4 spots. I don't see them. I don't see them taking the belt off of Seth, and I don't see him taking the belt off of Roman. And I really don't. You think that they want Roman to pass the Hogan streak?
Yeah, it's getting close. So.
There's no upside in having Dwayne go over.
No, you can't. Yeah, not for the belt, but to sell the WrestleMania.
But I think Dwayne would do the job.
Yeah, of course. Be great
much like Hogan,
one day shy.
Much like Hogan did for Dwayne in Toronto.
Right, 17. Right.
Yeah, give him that monster fucking rub.
Or 18.
Did you see that? I saw a thought. I think it might have been on Instagram. It had like all the milestones of like that WWE had last year in 23. Like the most revenue, the most this. It was like fucking 6 different things that they had, crushed numbers.
I didn't see it, but
yeah.
I do know we keep hearing the revenue with the Garden. We were talking about the MSG number, and let's just put Punk now, because if Punk's in it, so he'll be in the Rumble and eliminated, or part of some kind of.
Maybe he goes over and. The Elimination Chamber, that doesn't qualify you for anything, does it? That's just whoever wins the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, but
that's not a fucking get out of jail free card, is it? Dom,
unless they change it.
They can make it. They can make it. Yeah. So that'd be the perfect time to cash in Money in the Bank. Would be after a grueling bloodbath Elimination Chamber.
I think was great. I think in WWE Creative, they've been listening to the show and our dialogue about Punk's happy to be home and gland handing, and then they sent out a profanity-laden Rock promo this week to balance the show. I think it was an answer to our commentary. Kev, another story I thought of you when I read that The Rock is now on the board for TKO.
Yes. And we can actually say The Rock because he got the rights to The Rock.
The trademark, right?
As part of the agreement.
Mm-hmm. He no dummy.
Nope.
I don't know why I turned it to Tony Atlas all of a sudden, but so Kev, why not Kevin Nash on the board? Why not a board seat for Kevin Nash? I was thinking about the guys. Who would I choose if I was Ari and I needed to put together? Now, Ari, I need some help with the wrestling product. I need some guys that know business, but know the wrestling product.
I'm
Okay.
picking The Rock over me.
Well, it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. You could both be on the board.
I don't want.
You have an advantage over Dwayne. I'm going to tell you. You have an advantage. You're both wrestlers.
I don't
both
give
worked
a
on
fuck.
top.
I
You
don't give a
worked
fuck. I
on
don't
top.
give. I don't give a fuck.
You're gonna have to pretend you give a fuck if you're gonna sit on the board.
That's what I mean. I know. That is. I try to explain this to people. That is a commitment, and the last thing I
know.
want in my life is.
know.
I know. It's just I have no. You know what? God bless Dwayne, and I think he got $30 million in stock options, and he got his name, but he also, with that comes everything else.
Well, I mean, a board seat. You're kind of in the catbird seat, right? You're making decisions. You're not in the trenches. It's not like you're hoofing at the television.
But now, from a standpoint of WrestleMania, is it actually fair for somebody in the board to be going after the world title? Huh?
Mm.
We
are really suspending disbelief this week.
In a sports entertainment, I think he can have the ones up on Roman Reigns now.
You worked television and wrote television during the boom period for both companies. That's like having been on top in PepsiCo and in Coca-Cola. That's the guy I want on my board. That saw both sides of the cola wars, as Billy Joel called.
Well,
in that terrible song.
I look at that. I am so impressed. I'm at a point in my life now where professional wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it, I'm way more interested in the Netflix deal and how they work the intricacies in that situation. Is it 3 hours? Are there going to be commercial breaks? Are there not going to be commercial breaks? Like those specifics and those things are way more thought-provoking than whether or not who's going to go over at the Royal Rumble.
And if you're on the board, you're not worried about who's going over. You're worried about the big picture stuff that you're talking about. Yeah.
But I mean, but I want to do it. I don't want to own the Lions. I don't want to own the Lions. But I definitely want to, sit home Sunday and watch the game.
Who else? I was wondering who you would choose. Who else would be a good board member? I think Bischoff.
I mean, they took Paul off of it. Like Triple H, like how the fuck is? I mean.
But Paul wanted to be in the trenches and creative, right? I mean, when you're sitting on the board, you're
but
he's decision making for the direction of a company.
He's still so. He's still so intertwined in every fucking thing that they do, because it's like you run the assembly for Ford Motor Company. You're in charge of all the assembly of all the automobiles. And it's just like, how do you not be a member of the board? Because you're the one that's building the product that we're selling.
Well, I don't know specifically the answer to that question, but I can tell you, if I loved the line and I loved the design of the cars and I loved the feel of even if I'm just a supervisor and I'm not standing there on the line, but I'm going down and I'm in with the people that are touching the metal every day, That's what I wouldn't be passionate about what partnership Ford should enter into in the NHL to put their logo at center ice. I wouldn't care about that, I don't think. I would want to be down. And so maybe Paul doesn't care about the big picture stuff and the crossing the I's and crossing the T's, dotting the I's.
Yeah, well, I think also with with 3 daughters and one getting ready to go to college, and I think that not to speak for Paul, but I know how much he loves his daughters and how much he loves his family, and I know that he doesn't need any more. Because I remember when he took like 10 days off and they went up to New Hampshire and they were all at the lake, and I remember talking to him. It was just like you could almost sense that he wasn't going to be one of those guys that was going to work till he died. Like,
he valued time away from
yes.
Okay.
See, Dwayne is just Dwayne's a different human being. Dwayne is he's so fucking driven. And I mean, I tip my hat to somebody, but man, like I said, there's never been a day in my life when I look in the mirror and I want to be anybody but that motherfucker I'm looking at. Because, man, I like that fucking guy's mojo. He don't give a fuck. If he don't feel like doing it, he ain't doing it. Like, I dig that. As Steve and I used to say, Steve Austin, dig it the most. I dig that the most.
So who else could have done it? Who else could have? Bischoff, right?
Eric
Bischoff.
Eric would be very. Eric
He's a big picture guy. He could definitely. Yeah. Todd Gordon built ECW from scratch and had a Philadelphia institution, which he still runs today in Carver Reed, the jewelry institution in Central Philly. So he runs that institution, and he ran an institution called ECW. I think Todd Gordon knows both things.
I think, though,
Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman. I think Corey Feldman just is.
Many forms of entertainment. He is a musician. He was an actor. Probably a wrestling fan.
Yes, at least a Michael Jackson fan. I just look at it and I say that that world is like. I remember it was maybe 4 months ago when somebody, I don't know if it was Nick or Ari or whoever it was, that they were talking about that Time Warner deal, and it was we're kind of outgrowing cable.
The Rock to stop a lot of my recurring accounts from finishing their story in my bank account. Tim O'Mageer has written, as far as I'm concerned, Dwayne Johnson ruined his own image completely and single-handedly with the first 2 actions he did once there. Within 48 hours of being on the TKO board, he put himself into the main event title picture and said, F you to all the fans invested in Cody's story after not wrestling for almost 8 years himself, and put his stump of a daughter as GM of NXT. Kevin, are you as offended as Tim O was?
It's almost like it's an angle.
Almost, right? You'd think that they're in some way going to benefit from this.
You would think that, I mean, and the fact that Cody just submitted, just gave it
up.
I mean, wins the Royal Rumble, boom. I don't want it. I need clarity what the story is now. Obviously, it's
to finish the story.
Obviously, he's got a few more matches with the poison spitter before
he's got to be completely blinded before he finishes his story.
Jesus, I mean, he got him Saturday night in Knoxville, and it caused the bull rope match on Raw, and lo and behold, he gets spit on in that one. It's just, I don't know.
He's taken more on his face than Christy Canyon in a short amount of time.
I'd love it if somehow this all worked out, and the main event was Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania, and right before they locked up, Roman spit red shit in his face and beat him 1, 2, 3.
And he took the back bump, finger poke of doom.
Yes.
Red mist of doom.
Red mist of doom.
Text Paul. We'll give it to him. No charge.
Yep. And the reason being that the head of the table knows how to do it much better.
Mm.
They showed a picture of, I saw it on the internet. Was probably computer generated or whatever, but they showed like Roman, like when he won it, and then Roman now. He looked like Lincoln after the Civil War. You know, he's aging. He's been champion for so long.
Mm-hmm. It's like those, like the presidents at the end of the term, where they're the gray has come in, and
I really, like, at this point, man, it's like if you put this much into it, you've got to keep it going.
Well, all right, let's back up for a second. Rock, this is in the works for a long time. No one believes that any of this came up in the last few weeks. Okay, Rock's deal with the board, the $30 million, the match, all of it, it's in the works.
Oh, come on, Dwayne! You don't think Dwayne just shoots from the hip?
Oh, you think like he just thought of it last week?
Yeah.
Said, hey, listen, I got an idea. Yeah.
Yeah, he was taking a dump and he went, wait a minute. I'll do something where maybe I touch my arm and say, well, I got chills, and I'll come down and I'll take over the whole show.
So with this in mind, Cody still wins the Rumble.
Yes.
And before January, whatever it was, this was locked.
But also, we have to. We're going to be throwing in some things here. This is before Punk is now injured, you know. So, what if there was an audible? What if Punk was going to go over in the Rumble and he said, "Hey, man, I'm fucked up." When he said, "What do you mean you're fucked up?" He said, "Yeah, I had MRI 4 months ago before I signed, and I'm fucked up. I can't go. Toss me out." Oh, it's just too much conspiracy theory. Never mind.
Yeah, are we gonna do the Zapruder? Are we gonna talk about the bullet on the gurney?
We have to. I mean, it's because everyone knows that when you read something, especially anything legal, when you read that, that's it, man. There's no other. That's the Warren. Like, how many times have you? Every time I read the Warren Commission, I'm just because.
Oh, every time you read it, every time you read the Warren report.
Every time I read the Warren Commission, I say to myself, "Man, this thing always ends the same way." You would think that Oliver Stone was like just nailed that shit, man. Maybe I'll just watch the film.
But without conspiracy theory, they're handing out Rocky sucks signs. Okay, this is confirmed. Sure, fans are bringing them, but WWE are not handing it out, right? So this is unquestionably, despite the furious fans, despite the truly horrific threats to Dwayne's daughter, this is what wrestling promoters want. This is what it's designed to do.
This is Hogan coming down and dropping a leg on Macho Man. This is right
all
now
the garbage you guys were pelted with sodas and popcorn and shit because the fans were furious.
And the thing is, the reaction on top of all this, you have to realize that you can say that, oh, you really think that this happened 2 days ahead of time? I promise you, fucking when we went to the ring, I wasn't sure Hogan was coming down. That's how close that thing was back and forth. So there's shit that goes down in this business, and you can keep shit real tight up at the top if you want to. And I look at it this way: people can say whatever they want to. I mean, I watched a couple of different podcasts, like wrestling podcasts, and people were like, I took off from work and I drove, and I'm fucking pissed off, and this is bullshit, and it's just like, if you've got people taking off from work because they want to go to the arena to see what the actual response is from, because they think it's being doctored on television. So they want to come. They think I'm going to go and get to the bottom of this, dude. I mean, you're taking a work that everybody knows is a work, and you've made it a shoot.
It's real to them.
It's absolutely real to them, and I mean to the point where, and I'm enthralled. I don't know where it's going. And
There's a press conference tomorrow. Let's just say
we were talking about this before the show. I could give two fucks about watching some work wrestling fucking press conference,
quote unquote press conference.
right? But
however,
I will definitely, if I don't watch it, I will definitely, by the end of an hour after it's finished, I'll know everything that's said about it, because I want to know where it's going.
Right. That's what this whole business is about.
Yes.
This is what it tries to do 52 weeks a year, every TV show, forever, is get the fans passionate and invested and believing something about it. Even if they know that everything's predetermined and all that, and, Rock doesn't really hate anybody and Roman's not really mad at anybody, but they don't know what's going to happen. And it was what Russo tried to do, writing television. Went to great lengths to have people not know what the hell was going to happen next week. People are passionate again. They're angry again. Paul has a raging boner about this, no doubt, as does Rock. He knows the value of this, and hopefully all the guys there.
People forget how good of a fucking heel Rock was, and people also forget how quick in Toronto Rock made the adjustment on Hogan when the building made the adjustment with Hulk.
Oh, WrestleMania, yeah.
Yeah. It's just
that was huge.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, man, and I think Roman's been a great champion. I think, he's a star. He's somebody that I would go pay and see, but not as much as Dwayne. He'll never be Dwayne.
So you think there's a payoff maybe for Cody?
Rock. I mean, number one, I think that they're going to want for Roman to be, of the modern generation, the longest champion. I think they want to erase the Hogan era.
The Hogan
era. I just think they do, and I think they want to start basically clean from that era. And Roman's, I mean, if you ever are going to do that, you're about 200 days away from it right now. So this is as close as, the only thing that this company has done that I am absolutely 100% sure should have never happened was you never should have beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. That streak, there was no upside to ever doing anything with that, because every WrestleMania you have going forward, you had a 10-minute package about that streak, and you could have touched it. You could have where Mark is now. I mean, that was something that was special. There was no reason to ever, to beat Mark.
Mm-hmm.
It did nothing for Brock. Brock was if anybody was going to beat Taker, it should have been Bray in Dallas. I think that's where it was. Am I right, Steve? Is it in Dallas that they had that match?
So,
San Francisco.
having said that,
I'm talking about the one with Bray, not the one with Lesnar.
so how do you get Cody
Yes.
to Dwayne?
Well, number one, you've got to. I think that.
And have Roman keep the title.
Well, Roman's got to go over on Dwayne.
Does he become damaged goods for Cody now? Should it be Cody that pins Rock in this iteration of Rock's run in WWE? You're gonna have him lose to Roman and then lose to Cody?
You're gonna take the belt off. You're gonna take the belt off of Roman and put it on.
No,
Dwayne?
that's what I'm saying. Now you're in a conundrum, because you want to, on one hand, you'd want to protect the reign, and then on the other hand, you want to get Cody to Rock, because that's obviously a higher profile. I mean,
depends on.
Dare I say there's more significance in Cody pinning the Rock?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So
Roman.
you have to. You've got to go back and look at, because I don't think anybody has. So now I said, the first thing I would have to do is I would have to go back and dissect Cody passing the baton to Rock. So I'd have to look at that and see where, because if they've left some breadcrumbs, you'll find them, and then to slowly, or we can just say seeds for the fact of, and then you go back and you water those seeds to where you basically, Cody does Rock a solid, Rock turns around and shoves it up Cody's ass. Now the only thing that's more important to you than being the world champion at that point is you being a man, and this person basically shitting in your face. So it's just like, now it becomes personal between Rock, which becomes bigger than the championship.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a stepping stone of, he can still go after that record's beat. Who's to say he doesn't? How many days is SummerSlam away?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Where would it be? It would have to be August, right? It would have to be SummerSlam. It's your next big pay-per-view, so. Are they still on Peacock? Yeah, they're still on. This whole year, they're still on Peacock. The Netflix thing doesn't kick in until January 25, I think, right? So
you still guys. I mean, we made reference to the fact that, a couple episodes ago, how many can you have too many top guys?
right.
And it's just like, and we laughed, saying, and then all of a sudden it was like,
All the injuries.
yeah. But I think, again, now, am I the only one that noticed that Drew came down? He came down in between weeks. He came down in a black tank top and jeans. Then he came down in the the leather kilt with a leather coat, and then this Monday he came down again in like street clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like so he's definitely being figured into the mix more.
Mm.
And I'll tell you one thing, man, of that fucking headbutt. The camera angle is great. Seth sold it great. Drew delivered it great. That headbutt that he gave Seth at the end of that segment was fucking spot on. I mean, it was the only thing missing was when he did it, I said, like, fuck, did he hardway him? I was like, oh, fuck. Man, if he would have got color right there. Because that would have taken that up just. And so, yeah, the Bash of Berlin is August. They ain't doing that. They're not gonna.
So it's wherever SummerSlam.
I don't know though,
right?
man. Though, God, at the same time, fuck, do something overseas. Open up, I mean, you quit thinking. There's so many movie, like the movies were the first to do it. That were this, they would come out and they would say, we're going to do $400 million with this movie, and all of a sudden it was like, yeah, we can do 400 million, but we can do another 800 million in China, another, and then start thinking more and which this company definitely does, in a global financial status.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, that's where your growth is. I mean, because with Netflix, you become you're no longer on something that is restricted to the United States. You're on a global fucking network now.
And there is a push. We got was it Berlin, Germany in August, and then Steve, before that there's France, right? We're France on May 4th. I want to say May 4th. Let's see here. Yeah, so May 4th for Backlash. And are they touring? Are they in? So Birmingham in there. All right, so they're back to the States.
They're getting ready for the Olympics in the summer in France.
So yeah, no, you're right. The emphasis on international.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, I think that's where
another
your play
stream.
is.
It's another market.
You've got it. Yeah, you've got to fuel that Netflix. That's your moneymaker now.
Yeah, that was. It had to be that way, right? With The Rock coming back, it could have gone a million different ways, right? I was kind of like, were you gonna Google search something real quick? I'll let you do that.
No,
look something up. You know what I'd like you to look up? Manscaped. Because good Christ, where would we be without Manscaped in our daily lives? We talk about it all the time. Kev's still rocking the original travel pack. He loves that one we got. I think we've got like 3 since they came on board. He still rocks that first one he got. That's that leather travel pouch. And the thing about Manscaped that everybody loves that they talk about it is the versatility of all of their different devices. Guys, the holidays are creeping up faster than your aunt's fruitcake recipe, and I've got something for you that would get you more excited than that recipe, by the way. If you want to look sharp for all these festive gatherings coming up, maybe finally win that Best Groomed at the Family Dinner award or whatever you guys got going, the Festivus Award, check out the latest masterpiece from Manscaped, the Chairman Pro, the electric foil shaver. Trust me, it's like Rudolph for your face, guiding you to a smooth, irritation-free shave. I've used a lot of foil shavers, and I find myself grinding and going over the same spot. I get irritated. The Holiday Chairman Pro glides, almost moves itself over my face and gets me completely clean. Guys, join over 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by just using the code KLIQ20 for 20% off and free shipping. Okay, let's just briefly review the goods here of the Chairman Pro. Armed with not one, but two interchangeable skin-safe blade heads. Think of them as like your grooming superheroes. The skin-safe 4-blade foil from when you want that baby's bottom smoothness. And you know what? They got the skin-safe stubble trimmer for if you want to keep a little bit of the, I'll say Don Johnson and date myself with that reference, but if you want to just clean up some of the stubble you have going on here, okay? But wait, there's more. If you thought I was done, Flex Adjust technology, which is basically like the miracle of shaving, okay? Guys, it's like Santa's elves made this just for you. Get the Chairman Pro today and experience a shave that is as smooth as you deserve. Get 20% off and free shipping. You got to use the code KLIQ20, KLIQ 20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with code code KLIQ20 at manscaped.com. We thank Manscaped, as I do every week. So WrestleMania is currently, I'm getting in my reports, practically sold out. Yeah, okay, so
what my question is,
do you waste that match on an event that's sold out already?
Well, at the same time though, what do they do now as far as, because I'm not privy because I don't buy pay-per-views, but are they back to doing pay-per-view numbers?
No, they're on it's on Peacock. So it's part of your subscription. So you get them on Peacock. So
but there's I have Peacock. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying there's no way, if I didn't have Peacock, there's no way that I could buy WrestleMania. There's not.
No, not through legal means.
It would just I'd pay for the Peacock subscription and get Mania for free.
Yes.
See, I've always thought that was so stupid.
Oh wait, I'm seeing DirecTV. You can pay a separate charge at DirecTV if you have satellite for $75, which is pretty.
All right, so I don't know how many what the direct world is, but if you don't have Peacock, and I mean, if you do 2 million fucking buys, it's $75. I would definitely would push having that match.
Yeah. Okay. So we shall see. You know,
it's a money thing.
It's a profit thing.
Someone's Bashid Berlin. That's Gunther's hometown, isn't it? Isn't he? Is he labeled from there? Is he actually
what month is that? That's going to be June in Germany. Yeah, June. No, August. Totally wrong. Knew it was summer. You know, we had on a very different topic. We covered we were joking about the NDAs because we covered the exchange on Twitter between Jericho and the attorney, and then all this the wrestling media exclusively. I don't think this is on ESPN or anything. The wrestling media has seen fit to use the word allegations with a lot of innuendo that people have been saying about Chris. And this is such a dangerous thing. If there's any veracity to it, I mean, there are channels that can be taken by women. But there has not been, that I've seen, an accusation. So using the word accusations in the headlines are strange. There was one guy on a podcast that went over the line and started invoking Harvey Weinstein references. And nobody has lodged a complaint or anything. So the irresponsibility of the wrestling media, I think, rears its ugly head again desperate for a story and kind of throw Chris into the lion's den, no pun intended.
I won't even. I wish we would not even talk about it.
Well, I wanted to say something in support until or unless there's
Well, I
anything
would say let's report something when we have something to report.
and that's what I'm saying. And I do wish our compatriots in the wrestling media would do the same thing.
I just think it's bull.
Because he's got a kid and a
He's got a
family.
wife. He's got two. It's just.
Yeah,
When I'm just not. I'm not going to talk about it.
And though, Kevin, if I asked you what got 100 million social views in 12 hours and 4.7 million live viewers, what sporting event would you have told me?
I would have said it was the Thursday press conference.
Yeah, you would have went right to that, right?
That we actually made reference to on our last show, saying that I would never in a million years watch, but I would know by Thursday night what had went down on that because I was interested. Yeah. And lo and behold, boy, we weren't wrong.
I looked at those. I said those have to be wrong for
That's
a press
huge.
Conference. Nobody knew what was going to happen.
Did you see the Meltzer thing at all?
His coverage of it?
He was making the. I don't know who. I won't say who sent me, but a friend of mine that's
in the business.
Pretty big fucking deal in this business. Sent me a just like a file. It was Meltzer. I think it was off of X. And Meltzer. It starts out with Meltzer saying that Dwayne Johnson isn't as big a draw as Taylor Swift. And he's saying like the press conference was free and like 3,000 people showed up for it. And if fucking Taylor Swift did a press conference, there'd be more than 3,000 people there. And the guy that was doing the talking with him was in agreement. And I'm thinking to myself like, that's not even apples and oranges.
Why was he comparing Taylor Swift to a wrestling?
I don't know what the correlation was at the beginning. Okay. Of I guess the significance. Maybe they were talking about those numbers or the significance of having Dwayne. But I do know this, like living in Daytona Beach, and Sunday we're supposed to have a race, but it's going to piss all day. But the master of ceremonies is The Rock for the Daytona 500, America's race. Gentlemen, start your engines. It won't be Taylor Swift. It'll be Dwayne. And that's a very strong demographic that he's going to stand in front of. And I just, so I looked at it like when I watched the press conference, and a lot of people were, had made reference to the fact that Rock came closer to the camera to make himself look bigger. Well, when they were leaving the press conference, and it was Heyman and Roman and Dwayne, and they were shooting them from behind, there was no fucking camera trickery going on. Rock was fucking gigantic next to Roman.
We covered The Rock size on this show. We looked at pictures. We looked at stills.
Yeah, he's
months ago.
Yeah, he's a big fucking dude. And Roman is Roman's is a huge star. It's just it's talking about Roman like you would talking about Dwayne with Taylor Swift, who just did $1 billion, and she goes out there by herself. She's not Taylor Swift she's Taylor Swift,
right?
And not only does she do $1 billion, but she also does a fucking movie that does like 400 million. You know, I mean, it's just like but then it's like trying to compare Roman, who's basically a part-time wrestler, to Dwayne, who, if you watch, if Dwayne's not talking about the USFL, if he's not talking about, like, he's so I mean, he's like a genius in branding. You know, it's like, if you follow him on Instagram, it's like, okay, you know, 19th, I'm dropping my new Project Rock Under Armour line. It's like he's got shit going on so many fucking levels, and plus, and he's in great shape for a 50-year-old man.
But this storyline in particular, and the way it played out, however accidental, and they're capitalizing on it, great.
He's a great fucking heel.
This is back, and just the fact that the Crybabies, which was a great little alliteration there, right? The Cody Crybabies. Just the fact that they're so passionate. This is back to the old ladies with the umbrellas in Memphis swinging at people when they left the ring. But and that's how you know you've got business.
They followed up the press conference with McAfee on Friday morning, and that was where they did the whole McNugget thing where you shove them up your fucking ass. You know, Rock's saying that. It's so easy for like the normal wrestling fan to dislike somebody that's worth $500 million. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's
a natural built-in reason to hate.
It's just we talked about it last. We just said class thing.
Yeah, the class envy thing. But it's so perfect right now, and they could do this for a year if they played this right, just because of all the players they've got involved now, right? And although I hope they don't do. There's talk of the tag team main event thing. They're definitely going to go with the singles, right? They're not going to change this.
They won't change. No, the tag match will be either after, like Rollins said, I got you. You know, like that's a way to like, you could do that the first night, and then I don't know. I don't think that's going to dilute anything, because anything Dwayne is in, Dwayne's going to be the focal point.
But I mean, you need a title match at WrestleMania. You need
you're gonna have
a singles.
You got to do
match.
Roman, you know. But it's, you know, to me, it also by having Seth do such a great job of being an ally to Cody, it prevents that fuck job for WrestleMania. So if they do work, it's not like Cody, you know, or not like Seth doesn't have his back. Unless fucking it's the ultimate swerve and he's in on it.
He turns on him. It could be, right? And that would be cool too, because of the history with Roman.
You know, and
so you got that opportunity.
So
but it's exciting again.
Yeah,
we're talking about shit again.
We're talking about fucking like something that has so many legs.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm watching Raw, and I'm like fucking, like, all of a sudden Bobby Lashley comes out and he's in an elimination match against Bronson Reed. I'm just like fuck, like every week I forget that they've got this guy. I forget they got this guy.
Right.
You know, it's like fuck, like geez, they got a lot of fucking talent, man.
So other than Rhodes, Rollins, Rock, and Roman, now with Rhodes and you could add Nakamura to this, Kev.
Nakamura's fucking. He's already locked in the main event on Raw every week. So
the 10:35 slot. Steve, let's go into the next segment here. This is kind of the locker room fan revolt portion we've moved into here, right? We talked about Cody, the smack to Cody. We actually, on a separate segment, covered Punk's comments about The Rock. You remember that?
I do.
And then the Great Heel promo. And when I was like, ooh, we're going to get some edge back into wrestling. So check this out. This is the Locker Room and Fan Revolt part of The Rock's return. Well, this is what I was going to ask in regards to that. Did he not retaliate? Because it's not just The Rock and a competitor there. He's on the board. Would you hit a board member of the company you worked for?
It wouldn't even register.
You would have just retaliated.
Yeah, because the board member's hitting you.
Right.
The board member is fucking initiating contact.
Mm-hmm.
So fuck that, man. There's nobody on this fucking planet, unless they're fucking special needs or something like that fucking smacks me that ain't fucking getting. I mean, I'm gonna fucking.
To all the special needs people out there, you have a free shot at Kevin Nash. You just heard that.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe.
It could be half your autograph line at the next Comic-Con. So what? Let me get a prediction. So are we going to get? Do you think we'll get contact between even in the tag team capacity? Are these guys going to wrestle before WrestleMania? Are we going to get The Rock in a tag match against Cody and Seth?
I think it's going to depend on how creative they can be and keeping them apart.
Right.
See, like they went off the air with Cody getting to Drew.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So that kind of they're keeping those embers where the physicality is. He's still coming down. You know. Now to me, this is where you got to watch it. What made Cody switch into fucking like sweatpants and something he could actually move in at the end? Unless you can't come out in a fucking suit and come out of you can't start the show coming out of your bus in a suit and then fucking just all of a sudden be in your working gear because you've got to run in.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
It's true.
It's just, I mean, and again,
goes back to the logic we talked about all the time. Right?
Yeah, it's that fine-tuned, but it's just like.
How do you do 2 months, Kevin, and not put them in the ring? How do you keep them apart? Minus like the pull-apart shit that you're going to get here and there. But how do you keep it interesting? You got to keep it hot, like it is now.
I mean, I could say some things, and then I don't know where Paul's going, and I wouldn't want to say any of the things that I would think of doing.
That's
because
why people come here to hear what Kevin would
he's limited to what he can do, and one of them is like a gem, and if I said that, and he would be like, "Fuck, now that's out." And he couldn't use it.
He's not going to listen. He's too busy.
I'm not giving a fuck whether he's listening or not. I'm talking about fucking it up for the fucking program.
If you make a guess and it's
correct, it's one of the fucking. There's only so many things you can do. So if I say one of the things, and I'll say it when we get off the air, and you'll understand. You'll go, "Oh yeah, well, if you would have said that would fuck up. You couldn't do that." So
it's Nakamura. I know it is.
No, man, but it's
different color mist.
When we get done, I'll and it's just the four of us. Well, I'll explain it, and then
that's what the live listeners are treated to.
No, they won't be treated to this.
Steve wants the trio of Lashley, Bronson Reed, and Nakamura to get involved. We know that's what it was.
Where was I at? Oh, I was doing that Rival show, and somebody was talking, and they were like, they weren't one of the boys, and they were saying, yeah, right there, is where they need to have a three-way. And I said, yeah, fucking, if that ain't a typical non-working motherfucker right there, have a fucking three-way. So you can fucking sit there psychologically and fucking put together a match where fucking, we got to get you down and stop so we can do a spot to do this. I said, those fucking matches fucking blow. I said, the only person that fucking hates a three-way fucking worse and fucking the guy going over is the guy fucking doing the favor. Because somebody's doing a favor, and it's fucking, somebody's getting beat, and then there's a guy with his dick in his hand.
This was a non-worker that made the suggestion, you said?
Yeah, they said, yeah, right there. I said, no, obviously you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's why you're over here fucking with a piece of paper reading shit.
CM Punk, his quote this week was, I think it's fantastic. 10 years ago, I was the guy that was wrestling The Rock when he came back, and now 10 years later, he's coming back, and I think the landscape has completely changed, right? WrestleMania is 2 nights now. It's even bigger. Him coming back only helps. I always say high tide raises all ships. So I'm just happy that even though I'm hurt, I'm still going to kind of be in the mix.
High Tide is also kind of a very overcover band in the Cayman Islands. Just want to throw that out there.
Okay, well, if I didn't know you, I wouldn't know that, so that's good.
Yeah.
You know what? I thought this was curious too. I kept reading the quote, and I will keep reading the quote. I think he agrees with you about something else too. My mouth still works, he says. So I'm going to still be able to talk some trash. I don't know if you saw the kickoff we did in Vegas, but Rock, Roman, Seth, and Cody, it was a lot of fun, and I hope to just continue to do that while I'm recuperating because I can always talk trash with the best of them. If anyone wasn't listening, I asked Kevin, what do you do with Punk now that you're invested and you have everybody invested in his return and he gets hurt? And
could you imagine fucking Punk out there with McAfee?
You're talking about on commentary?
Yeah.
No.
If that's what I mean, because that was everybody was saying. How about commentary?
No. What you said and what he's alluding to, setting up in one segment a week, talking some shit, putting people in I'm going to call it the Piper's Pit model, but that's what it is. Guy with a mic who can talk, and you put him in some interesting situations. Sounds like he agrees with you, Kevin.
Listen, it's the best fit for what his skill set is.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want, man, like he came back. He's a fucking star. He's over. Man, don't diminish him.
Yeah, I agree. I shuddered when I heard them talking about doing fucking color.
Yeah, don't diminish him. Keep him special.
Did you notice some stuff?
He's gone 9 months. He'll be back like before you know it.
You know who's entertaining? The Rock. He's full heel now, baby.
I saw something where it was the clearest indication that he was all in was they said that he wasn't in any Under Armour or WWE merch. He was in his old school Versace. Like he was in his shit. Mm-hmm. He was in the. So
I sweated that shirt he had on. I wouldn't do the cutoff, obviously, but I'd wear that by the pool.
I'm not a Versace guy.
So,
though I have seen your Capote fucking robe.
I do have a Versace robe.
I know you fucking wore it on like New Year's Eve.
I got a nice.
Was it New Year's? What was it? New Year's Day.
I got some nice Versace lift sneakers too recently. It's pretty good. Listen,
I want to make that shit for me. It's fine.
I gotta you need a lift but you saw the promo, SmackDown?
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, we're talking about a heel, right? The pop. Bro, the pop. What happened to me last week with Mean Gene, it's fucking happening with Vince.
Bro.
By Menon. the pop he got, the pop when that music hit, that was not a heel pop. That was like an Austin, unless that was production, unless it was sweetened.
That's like the biggest house that they've ever had in that building.
11,000, Salt Lake City, right?
It's like maybe money wise. I mean, it was.
So if it wasn't a track, and that was real, it was massive. The pop when his music hit. Should a heel get the Austin pop? I was thinking about that. I'm like, wait a minute, but then I was thinking, you know what? NWO always did.
He's getting the Rock pop.
Yes, but the Rock's a heel.
Doesn't matter. Rock's Rock.
So then I
put it this way.
assuaged.
I watched fucking Raw, and like no Seth, no Rock, no. You know, it was just, and it was.
I was looking at Rock's body. Yeah, we were talking about all the shit where people talk about angles, like their camera angles. He is big like a pickle, man. He is huge. Camera angles my ass. His promo itself in the ring, very entertaining. I dug the Mormon stuff. I popped for. Is he going too hard as a heel? I mean, should it stay a little more ambiguous and believable? I mean, should we be insulting the crowd?
No, I think it's
a little
that's
too
what
dated.
You want.
Yeah,
no, but I
still?
think you want it. Okay, so Cody comes to the ring and he has to fucking pound his fist, and they got to get that. Whoa! Then we got to go down.
You're a
to
big
the fucking,
fan of that, yeah.
And then fuck with Seth Rollins, they just do it the whole fucking time. So for a heel to interact, you got to fucking, he said he went to fucking say, one of his catchphrases, and they jumped out. He goes, "No, you don't get to be a part of this." And that's the whole thing. Everybody else is just agile. It's the more adulation they can get. Oh, when I put my fist down, what's next? I mean, the day that I went to fucking something and got that involved, Jesus, I went to Rocky Horror Picture Show and walked out halfway through. I said, "What the fuck is everybody screaming about? This is fucking stupid."
But I'm looking at the crowd during Rock's promo, right? And they're loving it. Their smiles.
It's Salt Lake
City.
They're
now playing.
There's 7 gene pools in the whole fucking building.
They're chanting Rocky at one point. And I think he realizes that he needs to get a little heat back. So that's when he turns to the crowd and very randomly points to probably nobody, calls somebody fatty and says he's going to smack his herpes lips, which was a little out there. But I think he realized that he was too over. It's at the point where I thought a couple of weeks ago the Cody crazies were that it was genuine. Now I think they're loving Rock as a heel, and that's
why I said like all along that's where the money is Dwayne in any form or fashion. That is the fucking. I don't give if Babe Ruth, if you could get him to come back in a time machine and play for the Yankees, he'd be the most over motherfucker on the Yankee squad.
Mm-hmm.
Just he's Babe Ruth. I mean, It's just when you're a shell of yourself and you were a superstar. That's one thing. Like. Even John Cena is much smaller, and he's losing his hair. I mean, he's showing age. Rock is like Yul Brynner. Every time I fucking see the 10 Commandments and he's walking around, fucking Yul Brynner's walking around, I'm like, fucking Rock stole his shit from Yul Brynner.
You know who agrees with you? Not necessarily the Yul Brenner, but about the Rock thing. All right, guys. Hope you're enjoying our retrospective of the Rock's year. Very successful year for everybody. For him, obviously, he got the board seat, but the payday wasn't bad either. And I mean, the fans ate it up. It was great. It kind of brought couple of different eras together, and it was just so well done. And he was great. And he still looks like a goddamn beast, which always helps. I don't know if he needs help in the bedroom, but if he does, BLUECHEW is what I would slip him in a private moment together so nobody sees. Does BLUECHEW work? If you're asking that question, we want you to know that BLUECHEW is putting their money where their mouth is by giving you a month for free. BLUECHEW is an online service that we've been talking about for 2.5 years here. They deliver the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in chewable form. You don't have to have ED to order this. You just maybe want the confidence that if you need a quick rise to power, you will have it. And long and strong, if you know what I mean. The process is simple to get on the train here with everyone else on this show and the majority of the listeners we have. The process is simple. You're going to go to BLUECHEW.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. I love the fact that it's all online. There's no visits anywhere. I'm not leaving the house and talking to anybody about wanting me BLUECHEW. And certainly no waiting online at the pharmacy. You take them anytime, day and night. Pop them so that you're just ready a couple of hours from now. If you're going out, a half hour from now. If you've got to do it, you can pop it in the car on the way over. And in a few minutes, you'll be ready to go. So, guys, let's get on board here. Try it for free. Just pay $5 shipping at checkout. When you visit BLUECHEW.com, that's BLUECHEW.com, promo code NASH, okay? And visit their website, by the way, at BLUECHEW.com for more details and important safety information. We thank BLUECHEW for sponsoring Kliq This. Always been there for us.
Day one.
In many ways.
Old, strong, reliable, rock hard.
In every way.
In every way.
The Rock, right? We're covering
the rock hard. We got there.
All right, back with Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast, covering The Rock this week and all of our discussion of The Rock last year. But it's time for a little break for the high spot of the show. Steve and I love to give that opportunity to Mickey, Ray Sinatra, and Courtney and their Get Blitzed Lit Aid. Oh, I cannot wait for this seltzer to launch. I'm getting itchy. Anyone who's tried it, please share your testimonials as you've been doing. Continue to do so. About the glorious 2 Kliq This flavors, Kev's Key Lime and Sean's Blue Raz. And I'm going to tell you about a way to get the limited edition can before the new can has even hit the stores in a second. But I'm going to first tell you about the Delta 9 Sippin' Syrup. Super potent. Think THC on steroids. It's a syrup. You just mix it in any beverage, like a tea. Kevin liked doing it in his white soda, his lemon lime soda, as little as a teaspoon. Okay, teaspoon and under. Do not go above. You don't need to because it's a fast onset, 5 to 15 minutes. And nano-infused means it's going right into your bloodstream. If you're in Maryland, you can visit a Stay Lit Smoke Shop. But for the rest of us, we're going to do this online. Right at the Get Blitzed website. Ships to almost all 50 states. Without a med card, you just have to be 21 or over. Right now, you can save 15% by entering the code KLIQ at checkout, KLIQ. You're going to go to get-blitzed.com. That's get-blitzed.com. And try the Delta 9 THC Sippin' Syrup, okay? And if you order 2 bottles or more, you'll get one of the limited edition pre-sale giveaways of the Kliq This can of THC Lit Aid pre-mixed seltzer. Oh, it's so good. I've not seen anybody I've given this to. It's right there. Look, Steve's doing it for you right there. That's beautiful. There you go. Promo code, and then in the note, you tell them what your free flavors. You're like, guys, if you spend more than $200, you're getting both cans. One of my Blue Raz and one of Kev's Key Lime. Go to get-blitzed.com and make this happen. Thank you. Get blitzed. As always, Mickey Ray didn't make it to this special late night show. The retrospective on The Rock. That's okay. It's okay. Because he's going to be putting out that magical seltzer very soon. Let's go into the next segment of Rock discussion. This is WrestleMania. Okay, this was the WrestleMania show. We covered WrestleMania 40 that night. I think it's one of our highest rated shows ever, as a matter of fact.
According to
on
Spotify, for sure.
Exactly.
Spotify specifically said that's our highest rated.
Oh.
Dom and I were in the press box for that WrestleMania, both nights. And that first night was too cold, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
I think
not Scorpio. You don't mean Scorpio.
No, not too cold. It was actually just very, very cold. I think there was a Jimmy versus Jay Uso match that probably plays better on TV, but the crowd was not into it. It was so
freezing
cold.
Your balls off.
Yeah, it was. Or at least they were. I was in the press box.
Oh, you're in the box, so you had the heat.
Well, but what had happened was the next night when it was cooler, they had opened, or not cooler, when it was warmer, they had opened the shutters in the press box.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone the night before got to watch everybody freeze, and then the night after they got to freeze with everybody.
Very good.
The press did. Of the people, you gotta be of the people if you're gonna be in that press box.
So let's get right up to it. Let's get into our discussion about Rock at WrestleMania 40.
The Rock was on Joe Rogan, and they showed a clip of The Rock
Announcing his candidacy?
No, he was giving his support and his vote for Biden and Harris. The last term, and he says, "Well, you're not with them now, are you?" And he like quickly, "Oh, that's good check, Joe. No, but I'm involved with a lot of people in the Democratic Party." So he just completely. So you're telling me now that you believe that the
Well, who
election,
are you with then? It doesn't mean
so the election was stolen? Because I'm telling you what, right now, like, I know you've got $800,000. Maybe you can give Rudy 141 of that, but it just seems
million,
like
not thousand, million. You mean?
I'm sorry, yeah,
million, yeah.
yeah. So I look at that and I'm thinking to myself, like, name somebody that jumped on that fucking train that ain't taking it up the fucking poop chute.
But you don't think Dwayne meant that he was on Trump's side of things? I mean, he could be a Gavin Newsom guy.
If you're not on Biden's team, and we're going in we're less than a year. Who's he voting for?
Is Cornel West still on a ticket somewhere? Maybe I don't know.
If you're asking me, it doesn't matter.
Bernie, right?
You know,
correct.
So it's like my friends say. You know what? Like last year, I voted Libertarian. Last election. I'm like, really? Who'd you vote for? Yeah, that guy. Oh yeah. So you're wondering why that's such a fucking solid vote? That's like saying I just won't vote at all.
Well, it's a no vote, unfortunately. I'd love a third party in this country.
It's a no vote.
It's just not going to happen here. Well, along these lines,
I know that when it comes down to it, that you and I are both about keeping the American blood as pure as possible. This WASP nation, that's what we want. We want, and even though you haven't read Mein Kampf or any other book,
that'd be a good name for a channel, by the way. Wasp Nation.
Yeah, Wasp Nation.
It's like Fox Nation,
like News
Wasp
Nation, News Nation,
CNN. It should just be right in the same on your
right
cable
there.
box. It should be on the same thing.
Wasp Nation.
Bad Lion was watching and listening last week, and he said every wrestling podcast only talks about wrestling. I love that, Kevin. Sean, talk about everything, including wrestling. He keeps
we talking about wrestling tonight?
New and fresh. Bad Lion, I think that Dwayne Johnson reference was maybe all you're going to get. Kevin's looking to even out last week.
Well, we did nothing but wrestling last week. Our numbers stayed the same. They didn't go up. We had a lot less complaints, which tells me that we only get like 300 or 400. Like we never get all fucking, like, if we talk politics. I think that the worst one we did was when you did the graphics and actually showed that Trump's tax,
the graphs.
Trump's tax break was 48%, which was the largest of all.
Served the
those
1%
that made over $1 million. And I think that people that just that listen to that just could not, like, this can't be fucking right. And they went to their non-fucking mainstream media and went, that motherfuckers are dead on, man. Like, they gave a fucking 50% tax break to people that made over $1 million. No shit.
Kevin's gauge of success. If anyone doesn't know Kevin, here's what Kevin's philosophy on life is, okay? If you have two shows that get exactly the same ratings, okay? One of them, there's 50 people outside the arena shaking your hand, telling you you're an inspiration and you had a great match tonight. Kevin is not as happy as if there's 550 people standing outside an arena throwing things at him when he leaves. Because 550 always beats 50,
always,
no matter what they're saying.
And my mom used to say, if fucking everybody likes you,
you're doing something wrong.
You're doing something wrong, or you're a bitch. One of the two. So fuck that.
So we'll get to Israel in just a minute, everybody. Luna M. Edibles says, freedom of speech is about listening. That's why I love your show. Different opinions lead to learning. Now let's all get high. Thank you, Luna.
Yeah, this is one of my T-shirts I want to come up with. Can we just treat each other like we do our pets? That's all I want in life now. That's my newest thing. I was fucking around with my dog the other day, and I'm thinking, like, you know, my dog shits in the house. He pisses in the house. I might, like, dude, come on. But that's all he gets from me.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's like...
But that guy in the pickup sitting at the light next to you, you want to throttle by the neck.
No. I just look over at him. I'm thinking to myself, like, I'd love to give you a stock tip, but what are you going to do with it?
Right. Like, not your dog. You're talking about
no, my dog is fucking. My dog's a day trader.
All Yorkies are kind of brilliant with math. The Rock, in addition to the talk about the heel, yes, in addition to that, the PG-13 language is being discussed a lot now, and how there seems to be a different set of guidelines for huge, massive stars at the top of the card. They're going to drive millions of dollars than the rest of the card.
But PG-13 is pretty wide open. You just can't throw F-bombs.
Allowed one?
I think they're
rationing one.
Steve, check that. See if PG-13, if you get one F-bomb. Has anybody seen this new movie?
Is this the one he was naked on stage about? Yeah, it's isn't it by the Farrelly brothers?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I like them.
I was talking to Barry Bloom today. He said it was worth watching. So,
according to the guidelines, the F word can be used only once in a PG-13 film.
What's that?
The one F-bomb in a PG-13.
Yeah, I remember. I think they gave it to Chris Rock in Longest Yard. I think he got the F-bomb.
He got your F.
He got to say fuck.
So Rocky, I'm looking at Rocky's social media, right? And
does it say, is it changed from entrepreneur to heel?
No, it's not. It's still signing off final boss.
I looked at his Instagram. He's got like 400 million people that follow him.
But his content. Now, he's in a wrestling angle now, right?
He's got a line of skincare products at Target. I mean, he covers a lot of bases.
But he's in a wrestling angle, so you need to be a heel for a couple of months, right? Isn't that we agreed on this? Like we got to play the role here a little.
Yeah.
So and I'm reading a tweet, right? And he kind of goes there. He's responding. He says, "You sound like somebody The Rock can love, drunk and horny. Networks and standards and practices have issues with my language, but I'd rather be real than not." Now here's where we go off the rails. I talk from the heart, shoot from the hip, and always try to have fun. The bad guy's not supposed to try and have fun.
Well, if you'll Brenner in Westworld, I think he's having fun killing everyone.
Then complete that statement. Try to have fun pissing you off, bitch.
Yeah. I you know, as long as you don't want to like turn the country and you know, to where we don't vote, and like I read it, you know.
The Cody promo, you mean?
Yeah.
You said, yeah. It elicited another surreptitious chant from the crowd, which is always good. I'm down with all this, man. The language, and when I first saw that it was going to go with that first Rock promo, when he was dropping the asshole and all that, I was like, cool. That we're and it was right when Vince was gone.
Well, when he smacked
direction.
Cody, they had to bleep it, but he was motherfucking everybody. You know, so I mean, and it's just like, if you want to distend, like if you want me to believe that it could be real,
Right.
You can't say, "Man, I'm going to beat the crap out of you."
Correct.
Now, when you go by a bunch of third graders at a bus stop, there, man, motherfucker, man, I'll cap your ass. You know, it's like,
how many times when you were working the Cheetah Club did you lean in and ask them to look in your eyes before you snatched them by the collar?
never.
And
I never took that. I wasn't going to take shit that far.
Right, because that's like,
there's no fucking going back.
There's no going back, right.
Once somebody looks in your eyes, then they fucking know.
No,
I mean this.
Right.
And you got to fucking, if you're going to come back, you got to take your time when you come back. Like, be all the way, and then come back.
Big pause.
Fucking big blockhead turns around.
You can learn a lot about life and life lessons, fighting, conflict from pro wrestling. You see.
I saw a thing McGregor put it, I don't know, it was a tweet or an Instagram, but he was saying how he stiffed a bunch of the fucking stunt guys during the making of Roadhouse. You know, I fucking stuck a fucking couple spinning kicks in their fucking ribs. I read it. I couldn't help it. I typed. I said, "Yeah, I bet you that fucking stunt crew couldn't wait to hear the fucking words rap." Everybody wants to fucking that's exactly what they want, is to be in a movie where you're supposed to be like pulling fucking punches by this far, and you're fucking teeing people up.
And you're in the scene with someone who's never pulled a punch.
Yeah.
In their entire life.
It's like, fuck, man. I remember when I worked with Thomas Jane and the Punisher, they sat me down like I was a fucking gorilla. Now, you know, if Thomas gets hurt, we can't finish this fucking... No shit.
Oh, you got a little talking to?
Yeah. Like, maybe you don't know this, but what I do is a work, and if I hurt that guy, we can't go on the next night. So I think we got
Neither
this.
of us make money.
Yeah, well, how about go fuck off? Look in my eyes.
Oh, you know what? If you drop that...
Phew. I saw a thing McGregor put it, I don't know, it was a tweet or an Instagram, but he was saying how he stiffed a bunch of the fucking stunt guys during the making of Roadhouse. You know, I fucking stuck a fucking couple spinning kicks in their fucking ribs. I read it. I couldn't help it. I typed. I said, "Yeah, I bet you that fucking stunt crew couldn't wait to hear the fucking words rap." Everybody wants to fucking that's exactly what they want is to be in a movie where you're supposed to be like pulling fucking punches by this far and you're fucking teeing people up.
And you're in the scene with someone who's never pulled a punch
Yeah.
in their entire life.
It's like, fuck, man. I remember when I worked with Thomas Jane and the Punisher, and they sat me down like I was a fucking gorilla. Now, you know, if Thomas gets hurt, we can't finish this fucking. No shit.
Oh, you got a little talking to?
Yeah. Like,
scene?
if you, maybe you don't know this, but what I do is a work. And if I hurt that guy, we can't go on the next night. So I think we got
Neither
this.
of us make money.
Yeah, well, how about go fuck off? Look in my eyes.
Main event was, of course, Rock and Roman, Cody and Seth. The
How long did
stipulation
that
on
thing
the line.
go?
An hour.
God.
Yeah.
I knew it was like comparison with the time my wife took to do her hip surgery because I was waiting for her in recovery.
So I'm getting the breakdown here.
Doesn't matter, man. It's still fucking. You're still sitting there.
Yeah, for sure. But I thought they used The Rock perfectly.
I'm just. It amazes me. Dwayne's 50. At least he's at least 50. But the amount of back, like trap, upper back, his thickness, you can just tell the muscle maturity of somebody that has been pounding. That's not a guy that takes a day off from the gym.
Yeah, for sure.
Where Roman looked much smaller than I remember him. Seth, Cody, and Roman all look like they could immediately do some Abercrombie work.
Right. But, you know, the spitting of the drink, that happened a few times over the last couple of days. And I think Rock did it more than once. I think it's a good demeaning thing, but I don't think you should sell it.
No, not like it's acid.
Yes.
I think that, you know what I really think the reason that Rock was doing that? He would pour some on his head and he would spit it on the guy. I personally think that it was so cold and they were they were in the crowd.
Mhm.
They weren't underneath it. So it was almost like one of those things like, I do the cold plunges. I can take anything. I'm the Rock and I'm going to pour some water on you just to fuck with you.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Don't sell it, though.
Yeah, no.
But, yeah, so Rock looked great. And
And it's really hard when they go into everybody's offense and finishes and then turn around and have half that match tonight. It's just like Roman tackled Seth in the tag, and then Cody tackled Roman through the fucking barricade tonight.
right, I'm going to mention that the reuse of the barricade spot. It's like
Roman cut himself off both times on the post.
Right.
Went through in second, third.
And this is the problem, I think, with the two nights of WrestleMania. This is when you would do something around the loop before, when you're working with somebody that you know you're going to work at WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, or whatever, and they have you work with them a few times on spot shows, right, on house shows. That's what this is, right? You're finding things that look good for both of you, and you do it in Omaha, and then maybe in Chicago, and then pay-per-views in Miami. You're like, yeah, barricade spot was great. Let's do it.
We would work. You would always work the guy that you were going to work it on the pay-per-view. You would have worked him the 30 days prior to the by the time as the pay-per-view was coming, you'd have those 30 days out, you'd have another guy on the road, but you'd already fucking have your shit down.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like,
yeah,
you know,
you'd
what
have
two
your
guys
shit
do
down.
well.
Yeah.
And I felt like that's what I was watching. I was watching the spot show and then the pay-per-view
right.
Saturday.
Really was an auspicious event that WrestleMania. He really made it special. Every year they got to create, right? It's the card of the year. It's their Super Bowl. They have to have the best of the best, top-notch action. And for like wrestling is now, when they don't rotate people as often as back in the olden days and the territory days, and because you get people from other places and they bounce around.
Well, you have more
But now you're
places to
working with
rotate
the
them.
same, right? If you rotate anybody on your WWE roster, you're basically
NXT Europe, man. Give it 5 years. They'll have plenty of places to rotate people.
So how do you do it every year for WrestleMania, right? If the same 4 guys are on top that were on top last year, what the hell are you going to do? So this was great, bringing Rock back from the outside. I didn't want to miss a moment of it this past year. Didn't even want to leave the TV to go to the bathroom for a moment. But if I did, I'd probably stay on the throne longer because of Tushy. Because I'm just so enjoying. Now, my downstairs bathroom has a bidet. I'd had one upstairs for years. Now, thanks to Tushy, my downstairs bathroom is covered. I'm covered. I can confidently leave the restroom knowing I've been cleaned, much like an elephant put out in the field and hit with a hose. I am extremely clean. You're going to have holiday guests, right, coming up now because we're entering the season. So they're all going to be in your bathroom. Wouldn't you want to give your toilet a fighting chance by installing a Tushy bidet to help clean everybody that's going to be in there? My favorite part about this, first of all, I hooked this up myself. I'm a very big believer in, much like Nash's father, Bob, you either have to wield a hammer or a checkbook to get things done. But I am happy to say this was 10 minutes. Unscrewed, I turned off the water, unscrewed the hose, connected the hose. It slides right in under the seat there. You use the existing equipment you have, okay, and then your ass is going to be thanking you. You're set. You're set. Your bathroom experience is set. It easily attaches to the existing toilet. And let me just tell you, washing with a precise stream of water is going to remove 99% of the bacteria compared to wiping with toilet paper. Think about the science of literally what you're doing with toilet paper. You're just smearing it all over the goddamn place. Listen, it takes 10 minutes to get this on your toilet, guys. Please, please, go give it a shot. I promise it's going to change your bathroom experience for the better. Every Hello Tushy bidet, by the way, comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and a 12-month warranty. So go to hellotushy.com/kliq, Kliq. HelloTushy, TUSHY.com, /KLIQ, and grab this deal before it's gone. Don't forget to give us the shout out there and let them know we sent you, so they don't go, oh, no one's using the code. Why should we continue to be with you? But you're using this code.
Let everybody know on social media that you're shooting water up there. I think that's...
Yeah,
and then tag us, and then we'll amplify that message.
Help spread the word. Let's talk about The Rock's, the fan perception of The Rock. His early gimmicks, and The Rock in general, and what his lasting legacy might be. Come on, more Rock talk. Let's get into it. Mike M. watching The Rock's beatdown of Cody and him saying the words, "Look at you now," for me is a tribute to Scott Hall. Rock was a fan of Razor's work while he was breaking in Memphis. True?
Yeah, that's what Rock said.
Okay.
But then again, who wasn't?
Yeah, sure. Right.
It's not like putting yourself out there.
Right.
Got one of the fucking absolute best ever. I kind of dug their shit. Yeah, so did everybody else.
When he first came in, Nation of Domination Rock, right? Before kind of found his footing, the Rocky sucks chant and all that. What year are we talking with that? Were you there?
No, I was gone when the Nation was when everything went. The Nation was before Rock. Before
Right.
Rock had that big, the Nation was
Right.
kind of while Steve was fucking with the Brett and all that shit.
And he was
I'm
Rocky
right,
VIIA.
Steve, help me out here.
But I wanted to know if did you see the potential? Because a lot of people weren't giving him a chance. But I always wonder like what the rest of the locker room sees if you're stuck in a shitty gimmick or just something's not working and you're not being yourself. You don't find your footing. You haven't absorbed yourself into the character, and you're lucky enough to get a second chance.
It's pretty hard to fucking like when they fucking put that. When I opened that box and saw that Oz gimmick, holy fuck! I was like, and then I picked the hat up and it's a dunce hat. But not only is it a dunce hat, but it's got an old man's like $83 buy at the fucking horror show fucking rubber mask on it. It's like, oh my God. Like, how does that get over? And see that, and that's what we're talking about right there. That's what WCW, when they fucking went, like, they didn't have a problem painting the backdrop to the fucking castle. There's no castle in Oz, but that's all right. And they can dress up everybody and, 10 man and all this shit. They can do that. But you can't get the main cat that's doing this whole thing, the reason that we're all dressed up as Dorothy and everybody else, you can't make them look, I mean,
better.
Jesus. You would think they would prosthetically do something or put some kind of a fucking, you could have put the Green Goblin's fucking mask on me. At least that'd have been fucking badass. Not knowing that, at least I could have got away with doing that fucking gimmick for the time I did. Nobody knew it, for sure it was me in there.
But how many times as a booker do you have somebody come up to you who's not over going, man, I just need a different gimmick. I just need, it's not right. Just need something else.
Well, if they're like 6'10", 320 pounds, probably not that often.
No, but like,
no, that's a fucking, no, there's a big difference. If I was fucking the booker and there was a fucking 6'10" guy that came up to me that was athletic and said, hey man, I'm not fucking feeling this.
But not the Oz thing. I think anyone would look at that and go, yeah, all right, we'll try something else. But so many times, guys using an excuse, and you're like, oh man, just not right. I'm just thinking about Rocky VIIA's early run. You really have to believe in somebody to go, yeah, let him stick around.
Fucking, they pushed
not
him.
Working. Crowds turning against this. Let's have him find something else. Let's have him find himself. Let's change it a little bit. You got to commit to somebody. You got to really believe in somebody to do that.
Well, number one, he was his bloodline, man. And often SAGA were still very involved.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like he was gonna land on his feet. Number one, because it was in him. It's just that he naturally is what he is.
So like when you see a solo Sikoa, right? Like, guy, he's got a bloodline.
Yeah. But it just depends on
try and
how
get over.
I think it's not when you see him, but how you see him. If you had Roman Reigns and Rock, and they were standing looking at the hard camera, and they were to separate, and then he would slide in, you might, in the comparison, nothing against his character or him as a worker or anything else.
No.
But just in stature, there might have been a letdown.
Or like maybe you've had Rock in the ring doing a promo and the promise of possibly Rock facing Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns facing Seth Rollins, and it's Solo who goes, no, guys. You guys step aside.
I got this.
It's me tonight.
Because when it comes down to it, it wasn't like it was the biggest fucking cash gate in the history of fucking Raw.
It indeed was.
Oh, was it? Fuck. Okay.
It was.
My bad.
And
I would have thought you'd have paid that off. I guess the beating at the end did.
There was a bit of
I could hear Hulk saying, brother, we already got their fucking money. Philly's fucking sold out.
Yeah, both nights sold out.
But maybe, you know, they're blurring the lines. Maybe, you know, that'll welt up and turn black and blue, and they'll be able to pull up his shirt at a press conference. Yeah, this is, you know, there might something to use there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Let's see, who else was commenting on last week's B. Shays Green? Nash sitting on the porch in a rocking chair, cradling a 12 gauge, as the well-wisher walks up his lawn to thank him for his service. Chambers a shell. Get off my lawn. Eastwood style.
like I said, man, that fucking movie came out. I said, wow, I didn't know I was. Besides, the only thing I didn't have in common with the character was I wasn't a racist.
But the sentiment, the existence is...
Man, I am.
Gregory Krug, go ahead.
I went and I had to go get some fiber today.
Are you regular?
Yeah, because I think this product has a lot to do with it. It's fucking hard to get 40 grams of fiber a day. So.
But you were getting your fiber.
I got to drive to a vitamin shop. It's all the way to the racetrack. So I got to drive all the way from my end of the beach all the way to the racetrack. And it was just pouring today. At the tail end of that shit that fucked up everybody had the tornadoes and shit.
Yeah, we're having cold rain. WrestleMania was cold. Gregory Krug, many years ago, I started working at a retail store. One of my coworkers there was absolutely horrible with customers and coworkers, commenting on women's bodies, making fun of people's appearances, and just ignoring people if he was in a bad mood. Thankfully, he was eventually fired for his inappropriate comments. A month or so later, I went to the local Walmart to discover he was hired as the door greeter there. Walmart in a nutshell, he says. Gregory, playing off of your Walmart visit last week that you shared with us.
It was interesting.
It's an experience, you know. You gotta.
Not something I would need to do again.
Big O Garland, love the old Mustang too, Nash. But Nash Ramblers are more you, baby. A Rambler. What are we talking about?
That's an old car.
Is it you?
No.
You were never a fan of the Rambler?
No.
Okay.
Cadillac guy. I'm Detroit.
OIF.
You show me any fucking Cadillac from 30 on that's meant, I'll drive the fuck out of it.
Let me ask you a question then. The Cadillac has been such an iconic visual, right? You can spot a Cadillac, a classic Cadillac. Then when did they switch to that sleek model? Was it the CTS, I guess?
Yeah.
I was going to say, it didn't seem to me.
Well, Fisher Body closed down. So
what is that now?
Fisher Body was off of 75. That's where the Fisher Body is where the Fleetwoods were made, which was the big Broham, the fucking.
Mm-hmm. But but this is a design thing, right?
I still I thought like when we did like the bulk of our traveling, like from 90 to 2002, like those 12 years, that Cadillac DTS, whatever you wanted to call it, that big Cadillac sedan with that North Star engine, that motherfucker, man, that was a great 4-man car. Better 3-man car, but that was for me and Scott when we traveled, like as the outsiders. If Pac wasn't with us, we just rolled those things, man. That was just.
You'd rent them in each city?
Yeah.
You put in the specific request for the.
It was done by the company.
Oh, so that was one of the things in your agreement that you needed.
We got first class air, luxury rental cars, and 4-star hotels with restaurants in the hotels.
Mm-hmm.
Like had a room service.
Service.
Yeah. We had to be able to get our bucket of Coronas.
Gotcha. So as much of a fan as I am of the Rocks, in the schmaz, the thing that bothered was this is following 2 weeks ago's vicious beatdown, gigged, the whole deal. Cody flies into the ring and starts peppering Rock with punches, and Rock is selling like he's being shot with a machine gun.
And he's selling like a fucking live fish in a hot pan.
Yes. Now, is there any way to still, can a big man sell without overselling? I mean, you don't want to shit on what's supposed to get the pop, which is the baby coming in. But I just thought he flopped a bit much.
Okay, here's my question.
I guess the crowd didn't care.
Who said,
Hmm.
who wrote in a tablet and walked down from the side of a mountain that when you slide in or step over the top rope or come through that you have to fucking, like, all comebacks are made at 180 fucking miles per hour? Who made that rule? If Cody would have came through that motherfucker and they would have been that fucking pregnant pause where he just looked at him and you could see the disdain, so you get that fucking shot, and then he fucking just, from there he made his move, and the first thing would have been Rock through at him,
block, maybe?
and yeah, Cody blocks, boom, block, boom, block, boom. 3 of those, now fucking boom, 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 boom. You go from sell to register to fucking,
Sell
I mean,
to
I'm sorry,
register.
register to sell. So register first, register to the 3, then go into a sell where now you're just fucking, and then Rock's big enough and athletic enough where he can use the ropes to fucking bounce off the rope, to come out, to bounce off this other rope before he fucking, and then take the big flat back and then roll the fuck
Powder out, yeah,
and make
right?
him
Yeah.
come after you. As soon as he comes after you, boom, cut him off on the, he slides out, you fucking sidestep him, grab his head, boom, on the apron.
Right. You could still get the baby over, but keep the heat. Big
And
guy.
still
Yeah.
stay strong. But you definitely mean it, because what you're selling is the length of the match. You're not selling the fact that Cody can beat him up in a fucking minute and 30 seconds, because that's bullshit. And if that's the story you're trying to tell, or you're trying to influence me to think that, I don't buy it, and it looks like fucking a fake work, which that,
Right.
it looked fucking bogus.
Yeah. A little too crafted.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, man, like I say all the time, this is one of those things that when you sit and watch it and analyze it, it's completely different when you've been sitting there all night waiting for this, and you've regurgitated it to the point where, and then you finally come through that curtain and that hot crowd's there, and it's just, man,
Takes over
it's
a
a
little bit,
lot.
right?
It's a
Yeah.
lot to
I
take
get it.
in. It's like no drug on earth.
Oh, you know what? I can sit here confidently and stretch like this and not worry at 11:58 p.m. because I've been up since 7. Because I'm confident in my body right now because of Mando. Okay? Mando, if you don't know what I'm talking about, wake up. Mando has revitalized my body with their whole body deodorant line, a whole line of products for use in all the different cracks, crevices, and situations also that your body undergoes during the day. It was created by a doctor, so this is no bullshit we're talking about here, okay? He saw firsthand how normal BO is being misdiagnosed and mistreated. This is clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. It just doesn't gloss over it and cover the aroma of your body. It gets down and changes what's going on below the skin, okay? All of their products are baking soda free, paraben free, okay, and a variety of scents like bourbon leather, clover woods, Mount Fuji Pro Sport. Let's talk about these products for a second, okay? I am loving the whole body deodorant spray. If you're watching, it's right on your screen there. The cap allows you to turn the can in 360 degrees to get every angle, and it's a soft mist. This is not like these room fresheners that blast out. No, this is a soft mist that tickles your nads and lives on them and keeps you fresh. So, guys, go see what we're talking about. A host of products to choose from. But the special thing we want to tie you into right now is the Mando Starter Pack, okay, for new customers. Sample everything in there. You get the solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice. Like you throw in a body wash or a deodorant wipes pack, which Kev actually uses in his shoes, which is incredible. And you get free shipping. So a special offer for our listeners. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with the exclusive code. And that, by the way, equates to over 40% off the entire starter pack. So use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at shopmando.com. That's shopmando, shopmando.com. Tell them we sent you. Use the code KLIQ and cash in. Please smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. And let's round out The Rock in this segment. How about that? Let's talk about if did wrestling just get a little cooler because The Rock came back to WWE TV? There's no one cooler than that Attitude Crew, bro. I mean, you could have turned on your TV at any time in 1998. Oh, who's on? Who's on? Austin? Pfft, exactly. Who's on? The Rock? Really? Pfft. Who's on Foley? Yeah, there was no change in the channel back
That's
then.
a joke. Because my father would take me to wrestling shows my whole childhood, and he himself doesn't love wrestling, but he loves me, so he takes me to where I want to go. And he's joked his entire life that he just gets Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. Like, I took my son to that for a $20 ticket. The Rock's a movie star. Like,
right.
You can't see that Santa Claus movie The Rock's in now for less than $20 in IMAX or whatever.
Absolutely.
The Raw go home from last week. So, of course, before that WrestleMania, we had the go home, and we talked off air a little bit about it. And that was the Brooklyn crowd, and a hot crowd, man. It's unbelievable. No one can compare to The Rock. I'm watching him in the opening segment, which was like 22 minutes long or something like that, and it's mostly Rock. And
God, I think that opening segment was way more than 22 minutes.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm thinking like 38. They went fucking, and it was no commercials.
they went astray. See, it was so good it felt like 22.
That's what she said.
It's funny, man. It's the Seth Rollins interruption, right? Up when he comes out and he's going to eventually challenge, but you have The Rock, you have Fever Pitch in the crowd. Roman comes in. You need them both in the ring. I get that. And there's nothing you can do. I'm Roman Reigns, and I'm standing there. I know there's nothing I can do to keep the fire burning that's out there right now. It's almost like you can't follow The Rock with anyone. And if Rocky if this is a year ago and Roman came out and started the show, it'd be hot. I'm not shitting on Roman. He's over. But there's nothing you can do.
Dude, when you are, if he's like, The Rock is like everywhere. I mean, I watched the thing last night. It was a film documentary on Phil Heath, who's a bodybuilder. It was produced by $7, and Rock is in it talking about bodybuilding and Phil Heath. And it's like, he tried to buy the Mr. Olympia. He's involved with the UFL, Under Armour, got his own energy drinks, tequila, products for the face. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah. But I mean, just his command.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's, when you have I don't know what Roman Reigns has on Instagram followers, but I know he doesn't have fucking close to 400 million.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a huge difference. People will go buy a ticket to go see The Rock because he's a movie star.
But he brings it too, though. I mean, people would come
Yeah.
see Kim.
He's a great professional wrestler.
Amazing.
I mean, if he does anything in this tag match, which is, it's so perfect too, man. Like, if you're going, you know, if you're gonna have a retirement match, it's one thing. But if you're gonna come back and just have a match, have a tag.
Yeah,
'Cause
I almost don't care about the quality of the match. I'm old school in that you get me
Well, I
to
just
this
want this-
point.
I don't give a fuck about the match. I don't give.
Right.
Nobody has to do anything that puts their life on the line. I just want there to fucking be a story. I
Right.
want this. This is the final fucking chapter. You know, this is just a chapter. That's
not finishing his story.
That's, yeah. No matter what, unless he fucking has a retirement match on Monday, but then it would have to be a tag.
But see, I feel so alone in the, or old, or both, in the fact that I so value the crafting of this moment, that the 5-star like it that's not what these are the 5 stars, because these 5 stars lasted for 8 weeks or 9 weeks of continued.
Well, I mean, it was 13 fucking straight TVs that fucking sold out.
Right.
You
That's
know,
what I mean. That's the 5 stars.
huge.
The 14 minutes in a ring.
No, there's never been a time in wrestling that it was this mainstream.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we came close in the 90s, right? I mean,
I think that,
and then
I don't-
Hogan's
I- you
80s
just-
era was pretty tough. to
yeah,
argue.
but it's just the coverage.
Oh, the acceptance of wrestling as a mainstream event. Okay,
Yeah,
it was
I
still
mean, this-
goofy in the 80s. It was
Yeah,
still a
fuck,
punchline, a little.
Yeah, it wasn't what it is today. But Endeavor will definitely help that, because you're going to see A-list people. But anybody that went to any of the WrestleMania events, people from LA that are in the entertainment industry marveled at that production. They were just like, holy fuck, so this is pro wrestling? Like,
Did I see something that?
no, this is WWE.
Right. Which, let's face it, is kind of pro wrestling again. There's alternatives to watch, but
I think it is what the Maestro wanted this to be, a sport. It's definitely sports
entertainment.
It's not wrestling.
It ain't.
It ain't pro wrestling.
I want to get back to The Rock for a minute, because we were teasing this a little bit at the beginning of the show, but Seth comes out, makes a challenge. Now the crowd's going crazy. They think they're going to get a WrestleMania quality main event in the house on TV.
They think they're going to get Rock to peel off that cowhide
and go. So there are 22,000 boners raging in that arena. And they had Solo step between Rock and Roman and say, I got this. The crowd died. Did you hear it?
Oh, yeah.
Now, you have to know, I'm not taking anything away from Solo. Anything that you stand up that is going to be less in the fans' expectation than what they just thought they were going to get.
Unless it was Han Solo. That would have got a pop.
From beyond the grave, yes.
Little Harrison Ford.
Little Harrison. He can go, brother.
He just got to have Seth come in and do a bunch of around, and he just pulls a gun out and shoots him.
I thought we lost a little momentum, and that after that hot open, I thought we lost a little momentum. Right
if I was in the crowd, I'd be like, oh, so we're just. And then they went from there. It was a very package-filled backstage type show, and it's just like you're probably sitting there going, "Oh man, we're getting fucked."
That's why I never tease, like with kayfabe, I never had them advertise like next week an announcement of a legend on the show, because their minds are gonna go crazy. They have a week to pump up that Hogan has agreed to the first shoot interview ever, and anyone I announce after that, comes up short. Unless I got Solo, then
I don't want to follow Rock.
Yeah.
I'll follow anybody else. I don't want to follow Rock. I don't want to follow Steve.
No.
You see the fucking? I think one of the most difficult things to do is on the fly change your cadence to fit that what, and Rock.
Oh, to put the pauses in.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like that was set up. That was Dwayne. See, and that to me is because that, if anybody's been out there and you haven't been doing, well, he's been back, but I was always I'd come in and I was that guy on MASH that fly over and drop the one fucking bomb. That was me. I didn't get a chance to get your. It's like when you go in on a 5-day shoot in a movie. First day you suck. Second day you're kind of fucking like, okay, I remember how to do this. Third day you're fucking good. Fourth day you fucking kill it. Fifth day, okay, we're wrap for Mr. Nash.
Heating up.
Yeah.
Nate Nizzle said, I think the big takeaway from this episode is when Kevin said that Bruce Pritchard predicted the fans would cheer 80-20 in favor of The Rock over Hogan. That was.
I think everybody was pretty shocked, except I think maybe Scott, me, and Hogan.
Not Hogan.
That was such a priceless time. Because we heard that nobody wanted us 3 back. So I remember we were sitting and eating room service in L.A. and in Hulk's room. And we got the Coronas are on ice. And we're just sitting there. And we actually made a pact, the 3 of us. And because he knew too, though, man, he didn't have anybody except me and Scott. We definitely wanted his stroke. It was a different. I think that from that time moving forward, I always had a different relationship with Hulk.
That's interesting. From that return.
Yeah.
When he came back, yeah.
Yeah, when he came back, because to me, man, it was just like it showed his greatness because he went out and stole it with The Rock. But the next year, that motherfucker went out and stole it with Vince.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do.
Yeah, no denying it.
He stole it with Vince. The one thing, when I watch the death of WCW, I am so proud of Eric for being able to dodge the icebergs as long as he did. Let alone for 83 weeks, and still be competitive for probably another 40 weeks after that.
That's the thing, too. They
act like we fell off the...
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like we went 83 weeks, and then we showed up at Club La Vila, and we sold it. So whatever.
And there was back and forth before the streak also, where they were trading weeks, too. So that doesn't get credit either. What was your temperature today down there? What am I in for?
No, it was windy as shit today. There's so much all these houses that fell into the ocean.
You got to be in the 90s every day, right?
They're empty lots. Let me see. Oh, God, no. It's tomorrow will be 86, Saturday 89, Sunday 88, and then you got Monday through Friday, it's 90, 91-ish.
Yeah. Same shit.
I came down here this morning at 10, a little bit before 10, and had both the hurricane shutters down here in the condo maintained. to make sure that I'm just keeping
They
them
work.
down now because it's hurricane season. The last thing you want to do is get one of these fuckers during the middle of a storm and have.
Yeah.
So it's bunker time, and this is our bunker. If there's 20-foot waves leave the house and come down here.
You're safely above ground there.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, could you have had a more complete retrospective tonight? But
I'm sure Meltzer will try, but no.
Yeah. But so that's it. But you know what? We usually do hashtag Ask Nash at the end. But there were we do have a live audience here, by the way. I need to shout out Ace Ramon, Kevin Gilbolt, and I did have Ivan Garcia, who were hanging here with us at this last minute. Put it together, and they made some time for us here to go through the Rock retrospective, the Rock Saga show. So hashtag Ask Sean. Let's get
go for it.
Of these real quick. And
Hashtag Ask Sean. The first one is going to be from Ace Ramon. When did you shoot with Scott? Sorry, when did you shoot with Scott and showed him what Russo said about him? Scott said that Russo was just a guy who took more credit than he deserved. I think that's accurate. Do you agree?
Well, as a precursor to that, let me just say I like Vince, and here's the important part, Ace. From what I know, I was not working like this at the time that Vince Russo was writing for either WWE or WCW. I was doing this when he was at TNA, and we actually, when he got let go, we brought him on YouShoot. But anyway, to answer your question, I only know what's been reported and what's been told secondhand. So could you make an argument that Russo is the head writer, but Vince McMahon walked in that morning and said, "Listen, I want you to have the right." Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that happened.
But to that end, if you're Jeffrey Lurie, you own the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll make the port very personal. You have a general manager, you have a head coach, and then you have Jalen Hurts, your lead quarterback. If you win the Super Bowl, all four of those people, and to a certain extent, everyone involved gets to say, I was responsible for that. I was responsible for that. I said we should call it the brotherly shove instead of the tush push. I had the idea to do that. I don't think it's wrong to take credit for what you do, but I know a lot of TV writers specifically that there's a certain cloak and dagger to how the sausage gets made when it comes to TV writing.
Right. And so right. So to my point, if I'm to take it at face value that Vince Russo was responsible for what appeared on TV at the time, I think he deserves all the credit in the world. The ratings were never higher. Listen, I've said this so many times. Writing one season of scripted television on a streamer of 10 episodes is grueling. Imagine writing 12 hours a week, I think they were doing
at
when
the
he
end
was
there,
at
yeah.
WWE. 12 hours a week of television, advancing storylines, getting B and C storylines for the smaller shows like Velocity and all those other shows that were on Superstars on Saturday, without a week off. 52 weeks a year, 12 hours of TV a week.
And without complete autonomy. Like, for what it's
right.
worth. Like,
Someone walks in.
Tony Khan has complete autonomy. He books the shows exactly how he wants them. Whereas Vince Russo, he books the shows so much as Vince would allow him.
Someone walks in and says, "Doesn't work for me, brother." Now, not only what you write that night is fucked, but what you were planning on doing 2 consecutive weeks is a problem. So listen, yeah, I give Vince all the credit in the world. Vince Russo deserves all the credit in the world if he was writing everything we were seeing. And sharing that credit with Vince Russo would be whoever else was involved that I don't know about. Out of
people
my
we know
night
about,
of
people
attack.
we don't know about. Like Vince took the huge financial risk to hire everyone who did a bunch of work at his behest. So like Bruce Pritchard was in that room, Michael Hayes was in that room. I think Gerald Briscoe was in that room. There were a lot of people in that room, and I think the criticism of Russo comes where the way he poses it is, bro, it was me. I did it all by my... And, like, And I know that's how he poses it. And I know if you hold him to it, he'll give credit to everybody who's in the room.
Yeah.
But that's not the zeitgeisty way we view him.
In any of my time working with Vince, on camera or off camera, he's different now, I think, too. There's been a religious coming to God moment since back then. But he's a very humble guy right now. He has fun on his podcast and stuff. But, I mean, if you know Vince and talk to Vince and talk about those days, he's a pretty humble cat. What's the second question?
This one's fun. Ace Ramon wants to know, what is everybody's favorite rock movie? I like The Rundown.
I think I have to make a confession. I've only seen, and he only did the voice for it, Moana.
Who said that? Somebody did say Moana. Ivan Garcia actually said Moana and for his kid, and then the live-action Fast Five. So you've not seen... Southland Tales feels like a movie you would have seen.
Nope.
Be Cool?
Nope.
I'm going to go Doom.
Nope.
I'm going to go real deep on... So either of the Jumanjis.
Nope.
Whew.
Have we spent them? Have we spent them all?
No, there's plenty more, but if you... I was kind of...
Every episode of Raw when he was in WWE. That.
You've seen those. All of those.
Yes, I've seen those. But so that's I think that's a fine place to bring us home as you hear the music playing behind me, courtesy of Tristan, looking after his dad hopefully right now as Kev recovers. He's like the $6 million goddamn man. He just listen. You keep going in and fixing stuff, it keeps getting stronger and stronger. That's why he's unstoppable at 65. Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver. Producer Steve Kaufmann. Graphics by Dominic D'Angelo. Title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson. Theme song by Dale Oliver. Technical research by Tristan Nash. Copyright 2024. Butch and Sundance Media. And our spiritual advisors for the week: Ace Ramon, Ivan Garcia, and Kevin Gilbalt. Hey, Kev, you want to do another? I'm going to wait for his answer, and we'll just see you next week.
Customer service never answers a thing. Let us free to breathe in air we're supposed to breathe. Through twists and turns you've come to love. Never answers a thing. Yeah, the customer service never answers a thing.